My name is Josh Lamora.
Hi, my name is Zach Acosta.
This is Donovan Benoit.
This is Rob Emery.
My name is Zach Daniels.
My name is Max Troyan. And you're watching
the Birds Broadcasting Network.
You're watching the Birds Broadcast Network.
Hello, everybody. Welcome into Chatham. Welcome into Veterans Fields. Alec Hendon, Scotty Gange, Bird's Eye View. Something you got to remember, the Firebirds have played a lot of games. We've watched a lot of games. We got to keep the potassium up. We have to keep the energy levels up. Alec, it's a good day for baseball.
It's a great day for baseball. It's July 31st. Can you believe it, Scotty? We've been here for about 2 months now at this point. The season is reaching its apex here. Really, really crazy stuff here, but a big game with one team coming away in first place in sole possession tonight. Isn't that crazy to think, Scotty?
It really is, man. It really is. Just so everybody knows, I'm going to set this down.
Yep.
I will throw it away. I'm just setting it down for the rest of the Bird's Eye View out of respect for all of you watching in here today. And hey, a special shout out, Tanner Murray's grandma. On her 98th birthday, she watched the stream on her phone. She used a little magnifying glass to watch Tanner Murray. So a special shout out to you in supporting the Firebirds. That's just so cool. So Tanner Murray's birthday, or Tanner Murray's grandma, happy belated 98th birthday to you from us at the Birds Broadcast Network and the Firebirds family. And thank you for rooting on the Firebirds, as I know everybody on the field loves that so much. But yes, it's a big game today. Two teams tied with 48 points in the Firebirds and the Chatham Anglers. What a special time that really is with 2 games left in the season, Alec.
Yes, happy belated birthday to Tanner's grandma. Tanner came through with that big 2-run single yesterday.
It was the Birds baller of the game last night.
Birds baller of the game. Perfect birthday gift there. But yes, huge game between 2 longtime rivals, Orleans and Chatham. They're pretty neighboring towns. Very strong tradition here on the eastern part of the Cape, and I wouldn't really. Would we want it any other way, Scotty?
No, I wouldn't want it any other way.
To come down to these 2 teams, 2 more games, potentially only 1 more game. We don't really know. We might have the playoffs locked up today. It might be tomorrow, but we're just here to enjoy the ride.
We're here to enjoy the ride. The Firebirds are here to win. Talking with Kelly Nicholson yesterday at the end of the 3rd inning, I asked him, Coach, it's the last regular season game of the season. There's tons of people out here. How cool is that? What do you want your players to represent on the field? Thinking that he would go into punctuality, accountability, respect, par is the mantra of the Orleans Firebirds. But now he said, I want them to win, man. I want them to win. So Kelly Nicholson is into it. All the guys are into it. Rob Emery said, if you're going to be in it, you might as well win it last night. And we're going to throw to that a little later and just see how really locked in all these guys are, because they are locked in. 2 games left in the regular season, and how amazing would it be for the Firebirds if they roll into the playoffs on that winning streak just hot as heck?
It'd be crazy. When I talked to assistant coach Jamie Quinn, who managed the previous 2 games when Kelly had to sit out, he said when you get to this point, it's all about getting hot at the right time. Right. And the Firebirds are definitely hot at the right time. We'll just see how long they can sustain that momentum, because if they can really run through this Cape League, as they've done at certain stretches of the year. They have a good arm on the mound tonight, Noah Skiro, who's been impressive all summer, and I'm excited to see how that rolls out tonight.
The Birds truly are hot, and let's talk about Noah Skiro, the Canadian wonder for the Firebirds this year. He's been an all-star. He was awarded co-pitcher of the year with Jared Schuster yesterday before the game. He's really been a special talent, and he's got a big game tonight.
Absolutely. He's been tremendous all season. Good fastball, good changeup has been his really bread and butter. Fills up the strike zone, misses a lot of bats. And I know it's really special for the Skiro family, as we've got to know them all summer. Right. His parents have been here all summer following along on Noah's journey from Liberty University to getting to the Cape League All-Star, pitching at Eldridge Park. They're just a tremendous family. It's been awesome to get to know them. And this is the cool stories that we see in the Cape League. That just makes it truly special, something that we soon will not forget in our time here. It's been a fun summer, Scotty. It's crazy it's almost over, but we still got meaningful games to play.
Very meaningful games to play. 2 wins yesterday for the Firebirds at Harwich, an 8-5 win. Last night at Eldridge Park against the Chatham Anglers, and a 4-0 victory. So they earned 4 points, tied Chatham at the top again, 48 points at the top. The Firebirds and the Anglers are tied for first place right now. The way things are going to go, 2 more games left in the season. Tomorrow is kind of a 90% chance playing, 10% don't play, just in the fact that technically it could be optional, but I really don't think that's going to happen, in the fact that if the Firebirds win today, they're 2 points ahead of the Anglers. If the Anglers win tomorrow, then they're tied up in points, but Chatham would have a 4-2 advantage in the regular season, which would give Chatham the number 1 seed. You also have to keep an eye out on the YD Red Sox. They've got 47 points, so 1 point behind the Chatham Anglers and the Orleans Firebirds. So really everything is close together. The Harwich Mariners are pretty locked in at the 4 seed, and Brewster Whitecaps, they're out. So the Brewster Whitecaps are officially out. That's your 4 teams in the Eastern Division. These two games really decide if the Firebirds play Chatham, YD, or Harwich. You really don't know, Alec.
Yeah, it's a lot to be determined at this point in the summer. But yes, we can possibly see a game at Eldridge Park on Friday, or the Firebirds could be traveling to YD. potentially hosting Harwich. The one thing that we know at this point, they won't match up with Chatham in the first round. So if we're going to see this rematch at any point in the season, it'll have to come in the second round with both teams advancing. I think that'd be a pretty poetic way for the season to end, with those two teams deciding who will take the East.
Yeah, I think so too. And, a lot of questions will be answered today here at Veterans Field, and I'm really looking forward to that today. And, hey, we're all looking forward to everything. And the Firebirds, they're locked in. Take a look at these fun quotes from last night.
And, if you're going to be in it, you might as well win it, and we know how good of a team we are. We knew there's no way we shouldn't be in the playoffs, and we proved that. And now there's just been this window of opportunity, and that's the feeling on our team. It's like, hey, we've come all this way. Doesn't make sense to just cash it in now. We're going to go after it with everything we got and finish strong. And that's that's part of the culture here.
We want to stay here for as long as we can. We've made some great friends, and these friendships are going to last a long time, and these memories are going to last a long time, and we don't want it to end right now. So we're just playing with that on our shoulders.
There's a big care factor. They want to do well. They want to win the division. They want to do well in the playoffs, and they're a bunch of competitors, man. They just go out and compete every night of the summer. And it's fun to watch. You got a bunch of high character guys, and it's nice to see good things happen to good people. And that's what's happening right now.
I think we're all excited. I think we know that we have a chance to do something special here. We've said it the entire year. We got a really good team, and everything's kind of clicking on all cylinders right now, which is the perfect time to do it right at the end of the season.
It's a battle for first place in the East Division, and two familiar foes battle it out tonight at Veterans Field in Chatham, Massachusetts. It's the Orleans Firebirds and the Chatham Anglers. Alongside Josh Dwight, I'm Thomas Cinzarella. Firebirds winning 3 games in a row. Chatham dropped 5 in a row. Looking to end that losing skid here, and these two teams faced off just last night at Eldridge Park. Firebirds taking home a 4-0 victory. Josh saw Jared Schuster on the hill pick up the victory, and he was dominant for the start, from start to finish.
Yeah, the southpaw from Wake Forest just picked up where he left off in his last start, advanced to 4-0. That ERA continues to go down closer to the 1.5 mark. He struck out 7 guys along the way. When you get a 5-inning start in a 7-inning game from Schuster and you have Pramel finish it off, you save the bullpen, continue that pitching dominance like we've seen all summer long from the Birds. And the offense contributed timely hits. That's what it's been all summer for Orleans. Not necessarily the best offense in the league, not necessarily the worst, but they have found some big times to come through with some hits, and they came out on top 4-0.
Yeah, there is a guy like Nick Gonzalez who's going to give you 3 hits every single game. It seems to be a rotation around bases, but Shea Whitcomb putting up some good numbers as well. Homered in Game 1 yesterday in Harwich. He looks to stay hot here in Chatham. As the Anglers will send Nick Kraft to the hill, right-handed pitcher who is transferring into UConn. Pitched around the nation a bit here. Started his career in New Mexico, native of Concord, California. Played for Diablo Valley College this past season, now making his Cape League debut in Game 43 of the 44-game regular season schedule. He'll go against this Firebirds offense. Leading things off, Jacob Hurtubise, the center fielder, batting second. Marcano, the DH, in the 3 spot. Max Strani playing left field. In the cleanup spot, Shea Whitcomb over at second base. The right fielder, Zach Britton, batting 5th. Rob Rimmer, the catcher, batting 6th. Eddie McCabe, the third baseman, in the 7-hole, followed by Tanner Murray, the shortstop. And rounding out the bottom is Trevin Escara, the first baseman. Beautiful day for baseball here in Chatham, Massachusetts at Veterans Field. It was a little bit humid earlier today. Has settled down a bit here. First pitch temperature will be around 77 degrees. Chance of rain in the early mornings, but well after we're here, or well after we exit Veterans Field. So Hurtubise will bring the black bat up to the left side to face off against the right-hander in Nick Kraft. Again, both teams currently tied for first place with 48 points. Whitey with 47, not far behind. First pitch from the tall right-hander. First pitch fastball runs low and in for ball 1, and we're underway from Veterans Field at 7:02 p.m. Chris Kraft looks to do his best here to limit this offense. 1-0, but showing what was Hurtubise. Pulls it back, gets in there, and inside corner for a strike. 1 count, a ball and a strike. Hurtubise, the 5'11", 180 rising senior back at Army, hitting .293 this year for the Firebirds. The 1-1 pitch is pushed down the third base side. He'll once hop over towards the Anglers bullpen on the third base side. Count a ball and 2 strikes. Top of the first inning here from Veterans Field. Nothing ball game between the Firebirds and the Anglers. Well, the 1-2 to Hurtubise. Off-speed pitch. Just misses a dash too far inside as Hurtubise backs off the dish. Count 2 balls and 2 strikes. Hurtubise hitting .357 his last 10 games. 2-2 pitch is pushed right back up the middle and a center field for a base hit. And Jacob Hurtubise starts out this ball game a leadoff single right where he left off yesterday in the doubleheader. Went 1 for 4 with 2 runs in Harwich.
And I love when Jacob Hurtubise is on a stretch like this for a lot of reasons, but my favorite reason of all time, his family's still in attendance. They've made the trip to Cape Cod, but his dad, every single at-bat screams, "That a boy!"
Just like our own Paige Thompson does. As the DH, Julio Marcano out of NGIT, as Kraft works from the stretch for the first time. Right-ready matchup, first pitch, change up in there at the knees for strike 1. As Nick Kraft, 6'3", 170 rising junior at UConn, glares in towards the catcher, Keaton Rice. Comes set from the belt, 0-1. Curveball popped up behind the hope it as Rice gives it a look over towards the first base dugout by the snack shack. It hits off the pavement. A lucky fan able to barehand it behind over there. Count 0-2. Hurtubise off of first base. Nobody out here in the top of the first from Veterans Field. And the winner of this ball game will take the lead in first place. Also depends what happens in YD between the Harbor Hawks of Hyannis and the Waddy Red Sox. Throw over towards first base. Jess skips past the first baseman Terrell over towards the Orleans dugout, and Hurtubise will chunk into second base after a throw over from Krauth. Jess scampers past Alex Terrell. So now the Firebirds have something going here in the top of the first. Denning Hurtubise over at second base as the Birds look to try to strike first in this ball game. No balls and 2 strikes to count on Marcano. Waves his black back towards Krauth. 0-2 pitch. Fastball up and in. Shack swing able to hold up. Count a ball and 2 strikes. This will be an E1 going against Krauth on the throw. As Marcano has been a heavy lifter in this Firebirds lineup since returning. The 1-2. Curveball. Just dances a bit too far inside. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Good looking pitch there from Krauth. Marcano with 5 RBIs through 38 Bs so far here on the Cape. Hits in 8 of his 11 games in a Firebird uniform. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Hurtubise off a second. Krauth kicks and fires a 2-2. Off-speed pitch, wave and miss for strike 3. Marcano goes down swinging for the first out here in the top of the first.
Obviously not the result Marcano was looking for, but with the help from Chatham, really was a productive out almost, just allowing Hurtubise to get to second on the error. Now you got 2 cracks to bring home the speedster from second with the heart of your lineup.
It is Max trying the left fielder out of Bentley. We'll set to do battle from the right side. Krauth still working for the stretch. First pitch incoming. Curveball. Catches the knees for strike 1 on the inside corner. 0-1. And Chirani, guy that's driven 17 RBIs this year. Drove in 2 yesterday in game 1 in Harwich. 0-1 to Chirani. Fastball up and in, popped up and out of play. Count 0-2. And Chirani had 2 RBIs in that game against Chatham that was then wiped out due to the thunder and lightning that was in the area. That game is the makeup game for tomorrow night back here at Veterans Field. Count no balls and 2 strikes on Chirani. Krauth looks back towards Hurtubise at second. Continues his lead, 0-2. Curveball, slow chopper to left side of the infield. Morrow coming in, charges in, sets his feet over to first in time to retire Chirani as Hurtubise will advance towards third base on the throw.
A lot of other shortstops, that might be an infield single with Troiani's speed, but Morrill fielded it, did not waste any time, and threw a straight strike to Alex Terrell at first.
So Morrill making that play. We'll take a look at the defensive side of things for the Anglers. Out in left field, Colin Hall, Kaden Polkovich in center, Jamal O'Gwin out at right, Jorge Arenas at third, Morrill at shortstop, Tyler Jones at second, Terrell at first. First pitch swinging towards the third baseman, Arenas from Shea Wickham. 5-3 put-out recorded by Jorge Arenas. And the Firebirds strand 1 here in the top of the first inning. Firebirds no runs on 1 hit, 1 error, and 1 man left on base. We're through half an inning here at Eldridge Park, at Veterans Field. I'll take a look at some highlights from last night's game.
1-1. Breaking ball hit to the right side, slowly moving, fielded by Marcano. Flip to second, throw on to first. In time. A 4-6-3 slick inning-ending double play. Here's the first pitch. Breaking ball swung on, hit into center field. Polkovich on the run. That's going to get down for a base hit. Trani charges in from third. Right behind him is Shea Whitcomb. And on first base with a 2 RBI single is Tanner Murray. Right-hander Boyd set 2-1. Escara squares, gets it back in front of the mound. Pitcher Boyd fields, shovels it home, not in time. Zach Kokoska slides under the tag. Escara got the bunt down. 2-2. Breaking ball popped into shallow right field. Zach Britton charging in. Second baseman Marcano going out. It's Marcano who makes the catch, spins around and flips it back into the infield. Great play by Julio Marcano. Here's the 3-1. Fastball pounded into right field. Zach Britton ranging in. That's going to drop down for a base hit. Welch takes the turnaround third. The throw to the plate offline. Tag applied from Emery in time. First pitch to Esquera. Breaking ball swung on, clobbered into right field for a base hit. Charging around from third is Zach Daniels. The throw to the plate from Kalalau high. Trevin Esquera took the charge to second. He'll drop back to first. It's an RBI single. Here's the 2-2. Breaking ball on the inside corner. Got him, strike three. Jeff Pramel freezes Keaton Rice, and the ball game is over. The Orleans Firebirds shut out the Chatham Anglers 4-0 at Eldridge Park.
It was a 4-0 victory for the Firebirds yesterday over the Chatham Anglers back at Eldridge Park. They took game one against Harwich at White House Field and then defeated the Anglers to take a 4-point day and tie things up here with the Anglers. 48 points, even Windy with 47. Harwich with 43 points, and Brewster eliminated from playoff contention with 38 points. So Noah Skiro will head to the hill for the Orleans Firebirds here in Chatham. He'll face this lineup. Starting things off, Huey Moore, the shortstop, followed by Colin Hall, the left fielder, Kaden Polkovich, the center fielder, Alex Terrell in the cleanup spot playing first base, Jamal O'Gwen out of USC, the right fielder, Jorge Arenas, the third baseman, followed by Brady Smith in the sixth spot, the DH, Keaton Rice, the catcher, batting seventh, and Tyler Dones, the second baseman. First pitch in there at the knees for strike one on Huey Morrow. Firebirds trying a runner on third base, and Jacob Hurtubise to end that first inning. Count no balls and one strike on Morrow. Skiro winds and fires first pitch, or Owen, excuse me, fell back to the screen. Count 0-2. So Skiro making his seventh start here on Cape Cod. 1-1 with a 1.82 ERA. Has pitched 24 2/3, struck out 35. Strikeout total has been up in the ranks here on Cape Cod. Skiro sixth in the Cape League in strikeouts. As the 0-2 pitch looped out of play down the first base side. Count stays 0-2. Morrow batting .232 this year for the Anglers. Hitting .368 over his last five, though. He's been probably the hottest bat in this Anglers lineup, which has struggled over the last week or so. 0-2 fastball misses above the letters. Count a ball and 2 strikes.
It's kind of funny because Morrell's, like you mentioned, hitting .368 during this losing skid. So while the Anglers have played poorly, Morrell's played extremely well.
1-2 pitch. Fastball hit hard on the ground. Back hit it off the backhand of McCabe. Able to keep it in front of him. It knocks it down on the infield. That'll be a base hit for Huey Morrow. Tough play for McCabe, the third baseman, to make. Hard hit ball down the third base side. And the Anglers have lead off man aboard here in the bottom of the first.
First hit for Huey Morrow against the Firebirds this summer. Just hit that ball on the ground hard to the left side. McCabe did a good job to knock it down, keep it in the infield. Just ricocheted really near the wrist area on the glove.
So now it's Colin Hall, left fielder out of Georgia Tech, one of the Yellow Jackets from the left side. First pitch fastball misses up and out of the zone for ball one. So Skiro trying to work around the leadoff single. Colin Hall struggling so far here on the Cape with the Anglers. Count 1-0. Skiro comes set from the belt, the 1-0 pitch. Opsy misses outside, a late steal going throw down from Emery to second base. As Tanner Murray, the shortstop, can't hold on to the baseball. As Huey Morrow walks up a little gingerly, takes off his batting helmet, heads towards the outfield grass. Might have gotten some dirt in the eye or something, or he is running back towards the Anglers dugout, it looks like, after he steals second base.
Huey Morrow might think he's out as well. I know he got up gingerly and then walked away. It looks like something got in his eye. Just going to get some contact solution from the athletic training staff. The other thing, too, out of all of that, after that play, Tom Holliday and Randy Whistler came over to Colin Hall. They had a quick chat on the third base side. You got to imagine Hall might have missed a sign on that play, whether it was a hit and run or a sac bunt.
It was a late jump off of first base from Huey Morrow. Anyway, he's in at second base. So with this break in the action, we'll take a look at the defensive alignment. Max Trunny out in left field. Jacob Hurtubise in center. Zach Britton over in right. And McCabe a shortstop. Tanner Murray back at short, Whitcomb at second, Esquera over at first, and Rob Emery doing the catching today for Noah Esquera. Count 2 balls and no strikes, the pitch. Fastball once again rises up above the letters, count 3-0.
Thomas, I know all eyes are going to be on the Hyannis YD game tonight, but how about this? Falmouth Katuitt, which the game means nothing, shy of just for bragging rights. The Katuitt Kettleers have thrown 3 different position players, and they lead 7-1.
Gotta love that. It's a 3-0 fastball. And they're at the belt down Main Street. First strike one, count 3-1. Again, we will be scoreboard watching that Hyannis NYD game. Currently 9-3 Harbor Hawks in the top of the 8th inning. Skiro comes set, looks back towards Morrill at second. The 3-1 pitch is popped down the third base side. Out of play, just over the Anglers' dugout. Count full at 3-2.
Now, obviously, what that means is both of these teams will be locked in either the 1 or the 2 seed. YD would become the 3. Harwich already secured the 4th spot. The Brewster Whitecaps will be heading home after tomorrow.
So these two teams cannot face off in the playoffs. It's either YD or Harwich. Payoff pitch. Chop right back towards Skira. Looks back at second. Will throw on to first base towards Esquera. Now Esquera flashing the leather out in the mound. And retires Colin Hall for the first out here in the first.
He's not just an all-star for his pitching and all the strikeouts. He fields his position very, very well. Caught that comebacker and looked back Morrill quickly. Potentially, if he froze for a second, could have had Morrill on a rundown. Elected for the sure out at first and got Colin Hall at first.
So Morrill still off a second base, one down here in the bottom of the first. Still a scoreless ball game. First pitch to Caden Polkovich, the switch hitter. Up and in for ball 1. So Polkovich, who has had the Firebirds number so far this year, 4 for 10 in 3 games, including a long ball, 2 doubles, and 6 RBIs. Has an RBI opportunity over at second base. The 1-0. Change up just misses the outside edge. Count 2 balls and no strikes. Skirl in this ball game. 7 strikes, 6 balls. About the 1-to-1 ratio. Trying to work out of this jam here in the bottom of the first. The 2-0. Fastball is hammered out towards right field. Brandon backtracking, looking up at the wall. It's gone. Caden Polkovich blasts a 2-run home run here in the bottom of the first inning. His 4th on the season. Anglers 2, Firebirds nothing.
And Caden Polkovich is seeing the ball extremely well right now. 16th straight game getting on base. This one a 2-run bomb off the bat, a no-doubt shot. And the Firebirds have been a great pitching staff of limiting home runs the last week or so. That number's gone completely the wrong direction. Polkovich takes advantage in a 2-0 count and sends one over the right field fence.
4 home runs yesterday in Harwich, but that has been it. First pitch to Alex Terrell is got out towards left center field. Left fielder trying to going back. Gives way to Jacob Hurtubise in the gap out there. On the run, makes the catch for the second out.
Now batting for Chatham. The right fielder.
Lenzilli had 3 home runs for Harwich yesterday. Darren Cabrera had 1 for the Mariners. They still fell in that ball game as well. As Jamal O'Gwin, the right fielder, will dig in from the right side. Native of Fresno, California. Rising junior out of USC. First pitch fastball in there at the knees for strike 1. So 2 down here in the bottom of the first inning. 2-0 Anglers lead over the Firebirds off the 2-run blast from Caden Polkovich. 1 changeup just misses below the knees. Count a ball and a strike. Scarrow from the windup. Kicks and fires the 1-1. Fastball on the inside corner at the knees. Count a ball and 2 strikes. McGuinn backs out on the right side with the Chatham blue bat. Scarrow kicks and deals the 1-2. Off-speed pitch, just missing the outside corner. Some of the Firebirds infielders shifting in towards that first base dugout. Mickey Garcia, the home plate umpire, says, hold it right there. Once more, the 2-2. Off-speed pitch gets past the mitt of Rob Emery on the outside corner. Count runs full at 3-2. 2 down, nobody aboard here. In the bottom of the first, 2-0 Anglers lead. Scarrow takes a deep breath on the hill. The payoff pitch. Fastball hit hard. A 1-hopper towards the shortstop, Tannebury. Collects it, throws on to first in time to retire Jamal O'Gwin. But the Anglers get on the board first here in this ball game, thanks to Kaden Polkovich in his 2-run home run. They scored 2 runs on 2 hits, no errors, nobody left on base. We're through 1 here at Veterans Field. It's the Anglers 2, Firebirds nothing. We'll welcome in Scotty Gage for the first time here tonight at Veterans Field. Scotty, over to you.
Hey, thanks, Thomas. Nice to be here. Beautiful night, really, and a special day for baseball. In fact, that this is going to be a really, really exciting game, and lots of questions will be answered in the entirety of tonight's game in terms of seeing the game tomorrow and what everything happens for the last 2 days of the season, the last crazy 2 days of the season. But a few cool things around the park today. Away from baseball, the local scoop is out here, and TJ King, our director of baseball ops, who was on the broadcast last night, he really knows the owner, and the fact being his mom. So the local scoop is out here representing the Orleans Firebirds at Veterans Field, and what you can do is you can get an ice cream, and then you can get a special dip, whether it be a vanilla, chocolate, and some peanuts, and some sprinkles, anything like that. And then also, further along the right field line, down next to the Orleans Firebirds bullpen, some of the Firebirds family faithful have started their own little barbecue, a very little Jerry Coleman-like barbecue. No, you can't celeb talk. There's a kid out here. He wants to celeb talk. We'll wait a little later because you're a superstar. And it's pretty cool in the fact that they get hot dogs and all that good stuff. And the Firebirds are out here. It's led by Melanie Langdon, so pretty fun to see. And just a good day for baseball, guys. We'll send it back to you.
And thank you, Scotty. I might have to hop over to local scoop and get myself a scoop of ice cream. Top of the second inning from Veterans Field. Firebirds trail the Anglers 2-0 here. As first pitch to Zach Britta misses outside for ball 1. Big bender, 86-mile-an-hour breaking ball. Firebirds trying to knot things up here in the second inning. Britton, Emery, and McCain, the 3 Firebirds due up. 1-0 changeup once again. This time catches the outside corner. Count a ball and a strike. So Krauth allowed a leadoff base knock to Hurtubise. He was left over at third base to end the first. The 1-1. Fastball comes just a bit inside. So brushes Britton off the dish. Count it's 2 balls and 1 strike. Krauth the windup once more, the 2-1. Off speed pitch, wave to miss for a strike 2. 2 balls and 2 strikes on Zach Britton. Batesville, Indiana native, out of the University of Louisville. Batting .261 this year. Went 1 for 2 with a walk against Chatham yesterday. 2-2 pitch, just getting a piece of it is Zach Britton. As he fouls it off towards the on-deck circle on the first base side. Rob Emery giving a tap with his bat. The 2-2. Change up is roped out towards center field for a base hit as a 2 ups in front of the center fielder, Kaden Polkovich. And Zach Britton is aboard here to start things off in the second, his first base hit in this ball game. And for the second straight inning in this game, the Firebirds start off the inning with a base hit. So now it's the catcher out of San Francisco, Rob Emery, who's hitting .308 over the last 5 games, including that home run in YD just a few days back. So Zach Britton over at first base as Krauth once again works from the stretch. First pitch to the catcher. Fastball. Leave it miss for strike 1.
Under the bin. I want as much slack as. Thank you. Perfect. Thank you very much.
As Krauth looks in towards the catcher, Keaton Rice. Krauth just steps off the back side of the white rubber. Throw over towards first base to check on Zach Britton. He's back in safely head first. Crowd still filtering in here at Veterans Field. Once again, check over on Zach Britton. Just this time goes back in standing. Krauth threw a ball away back in the first inning that got past Terrell, the first baseman. Allowed Hurtubise to reach second. 0-1 pitch, fastball at the eye level for ball 1. Count 1 ball and 1 strike. Emery, a chance yesterday against Chatham in that doubleheader in the 7-inning ball game. 0 for 1, but was able to reach a walk. The 1-1 pitch. Fastball misses down below the knees. Count 2 balls and a strike now on Rob Emery. Emery, native of San Francisco, California. Rising redshirt senior and San Francisco. Krauth comes set from the belt. Fires a 2-1 pitch. That's fouled off at the dish. So it gets past Keaton Rice as Brennan was running off towards second base. After the ball made contact. So count stays 2 balls and 2 strikes now. Isaac Escada, the southpaw from USA, warming in the Firebirds bullpen down on the right field line. Might see Escada go 2 or 3 innings and then Escada come to this ball game. Brennan extends lead off of first base, held on by Alex Terrell. As Krauth comes set. Checks. As a 2-2 pitch popped up down the first base side, out of play over the snack shack over towards the playground here at Veterans Field. Count stays 2 balls and 2 strikes. Firebirds yesterday again won 4-0, had a 3-run 4th inning and a 1-run 6th against Chatham. Scored 2 runs in the first in game 1 in Harwich. 2-2 pitch once more. This one's punched back out of play behind home plate. As Emery really making Krauth labor on the hill in this AB. Be pitch number 7 upcoming here. As Krauth so far, 26 pitches through 1+ innings. The 2-2 once more. Curveball is lays it out just over the shortstop Morrow, who is going out and try to jump on the read as Zach Brennan able to advance towards second base. As it falls in between no man's land towards Colin Hall and Kanan Polkovich out of left center. And the Firebirds go station to station baseball here to start out the second inning. Back-to-back singles by Zach Britton and Rob Emery.
Morrill just got caught up with his feet going back on that ball. Could have had a chance. Thought it was not going to go that far. By the time he twisted and turned, almost tripped over his own 2 feet. Regathered himself, but it dropped down for a base hit.
So Rob Emery using all those muscles to his advantage as he takes his lead off of first base in line with the first baseman Alex Terrell. Tyler Dones and Huey Morrill, the middle infielders, playing double play depth. With Eddie McCabe, first pitch, taking a swing, goes back to the screen, get past Keaton Rice, as both runners able to advance towards second and third. As Tom Holliday and the rest of the umpire crew not happy at the umpires. So Britton now off of third base, Rob Emery off of second. Nobody down here on the top of the second. 2-0 Anglers lead. So RB opportunity for Eddie McCabe. He's got 10 RBIs to his name this year. As the 0-1 pitch is sliced down the right field line, going over to his left is Jamal O'Gwyn. Tagging up from third, heading towards home is Zach Britton. And Emery able to get towards third as well, diving in head first. So it's an RBI sac fly for Eddie McCabe. And the Firebirds are on the board here at Veterans Field. That's now 2-1.
Yeah, Orleans quickly takes advantage of the wild pitch on the very next swing from McCabe. Shoots one down the right field line. And we saw it the other day with the Firebirds and the Mariners that if you make little mistakes, it can come back to bite you. And right now, Orleans takes advantage of the wild pitch and cuts this deficit in half.
So now Tanner Murray, native of Boulder Creek, California, out of UC Davis. He waves his bat. His first pitch to Tanner Murray. Curveball misses below the needs for ball 1. So Britton started off this inning with a single, followed by Rob Emery's single. Before a wild pitch, it advanced both on the second and third, and then a sacrifice fly from Eddie McCabe brought him in. Murray waves his black bat towards the pitcher in Kraut. Kicks and fires the 1-0. Fastball up and inside. As Murray backs off the dish, count 2 balls and no strikes. Tanner Murray having a nice last 5 games. Hits in 4 of his last 5, batting .294 for the Birds, including a home run and 3 RBIs. Man off at third base here with 1 down. As a 2-0 pitch is popped down the first base side. Giving a look as O'Gwyn, as it will push off to the side towards the Firebirds bullpen. Count 2 balls and 1 strike. Shoving a scare, the first baseman waits on deck here for the Birds. Chatham 2, Orleans 1. 32 pitches now for Nick Kraut. Yuki Onoski comes set, the 2-1. Curveball reached for and punched out toward the left center field gap. Coming on is a center fielder in Caden Polkovich, who dives and makes the catch. Tagging him from third is Rob Emery. But how about that? Caden Polkovich takes away a base hit, but Tanner Murray still drives in the run. It's now Firebirds 2, Chatham 2.
Well, so that'll go down as a sacrifice fly in the box score. But boy, is it anything other than that. That was an RBI single for Tanner Murray, taken away by Caden Polkovich. Ran a country mile, shifted in right center, came all the way to the left center field. Alley lays out, and boy, is this kid something special.
So back-to-back sac flies. Now Tanner Murray will be happy with the RBI. He wants that base hit, though. As first pitch swinging, changeup cut on a miss for strike one to Trevin Escada. Heck of a play by Caden Polkovich. Seems like anytime these two teams get together, we see the best of the best in the gloves. The 0-1. Off speed once again, bounces in towards the catcher, Keen Rice. Count a ball and a strike. So 2 down here, nobody aboard for the Birds. Tied up at 2. The 1-1. Fastball hit right back past the pitcher in Kruth. And into center field for a base. It is Escara. Continuously hot at the plate. Now 3 for his last 8, and he's aboard with 2 down. So top of the order rolling back around for the Orleans Firebirds is Jacob Hurtubise, the speedy center fielder. Well, bat from the left side. Escara takes the lead off of first base. Kruth once again works from the stretch. Showing bunt. Hurtubise bunts it down the third base side. Arenas scoops it up. Hard throw on to first base. In time to retire Jacob Hurtubise. 5-3 put out to end things here in the top of the second. But the Firebirds strike for 2. 2 runs on 3 hits. No errors and 1 man left on base after an inning and a half of baseball. It's the Firebirds 2 and the Anglers 2. We'll step aside and listen to Firebirds baseball on the Birds Broadcast Network.
Hey, welcome back here into Eldridge Park. Scotty Gange alongside Orleans manager Kelly Nicholson. Coach, first time since 2004 there's been an all-star game here at Eldridge. How cool is that?
Yeah, it's cool. I think it's a great, obviously I think it's the best venue on the Cape, and if you're going to have an all-star game on the Cape, I don't think you can pick a better place than Eldridge.
Mm-hmm. You said it. You know, it's all the best players on the Cape are out here today. To be kind of a guy watching them warm up and do all that thing and work with all these great players today, how much fun are you having?
Yeah, it's fun. We just talked, you know, it's a lot of work. Yeah. It's already been a long day and the game hasn't started, but it's fun. It's nice to have these guys from Chatham and Brewster and Whiting and Harwich on our side.
Yeah.
Because there's obviously some very good players, and it's going to be fun watching them play tonight.
I know for me, you know, seeing a lot of the guys from the other teams, I've kind of been surprised by how personable all these guys are, that guys that are kind of just faces to us. What have you been surprised about today?
I don't think there's been any real surprises other than it's hot, man. It's just
You're
hot.
telling me.
God dang it. But yeah, no surprises so far. It's been very well organized, and the brunch was good, and BP was good, and in and outs are going well. We're getting ready for the home run derby, and I guess in about an hour and 15 minutes we'll have first pitch. So it's been a good day. It's been very smooth, at least as far as I can see.
Max Troiani out of Bentley, Jared Schuster's out here, Noah Skiro on his birthday are out here. Orleans Firebirds also.
Latter half of the second inning here from Veterans Field in Chatham, Massachusetts. 2 runs by the Firebirds put them on the board in the top of the second. It's a tie ball game now. As Jorge Arenas, the third baseman from Stetson, will set the new battle from the right side. First pitch, check swing. He swung through it on a fastball from Noah Skiro at 90 miles an hour. Count 0-1. So Arenas, who we've seen as a pitcher as well, may see him pitch today or tomorrow as the 0-1 fastball rings in at the knees for strike 2, and Arenas is in the hole now, 0-2. Arenas, who is an all-star for the Chatham Anglers this year, played the all-star game at Eldridge Park as the 0-2 curveball rolled over foul down the third base side. The count stays 0-2. 2 runs, 4 hits, no errors for the Orleans Firebirds. 2 runs, 2 hits, and 1 error for the Chatham Anglers here. Skiro on the 2-run blast from Polkovich in the first. 0-2 fastball outside corner, strike 3. Jorge Arenas retired here. Backwards K, first strikeout for Noah Skiro. We're going to start off his spot in the second inning. And that's what we're used to seeing from Noah Skiro. High strikeout totals from right-handed pitcher out of Liberty. So Brady Smith The DH now are the University of Florida. First pitch.
What was the second part of that?
Off-speed pitch misses inside for ball one. Count 1-0. Smith, who has struggled just a bit here over the last few games or so.
So you're gonna
Go for his last 13 as the 1-0 pitch. Fastball connects at the knees for strike one. Count a ball and a strike. Smith, who played for Katuitt last summer, finds his way to Chatham this year. As the 1-1 from Skiro. Off speed, just missed the outside corner. Kellen Nicholson, the manager for the Firebirds, wanted that one on the first base dugout. Count 2 balls and 1 strike here. Skiro from the first base side of the river, 2-1 pitch. Clubbed out towards right field, heading towards the corner. Backtracking hitter Zach Britton, just shy of the warning track, hangs on and makes the catch for the second out.
Ball's carrying out to right field tonight. The Polkovich home run was off the bat. Even that looked like it was going to be a lazy fly ball off the bat. Just kept going and going. Took Britton back to the warning track in the corner, but left him with enough room.
Reminds us of a couple of the balls we saw yesterday, a couple days before. TJ Clutch is hitting casual fly balls that almost get out at Stony Brook Field. First pitch to Keaton Rice. Fastball at the knees for strike one. 97 mile an hour on the gun.
Let's get that gun checked.
0-1. Off speed just misses the outside corner, count a ball and a strike. Well, it seems like 86 is the number here at Veterans Field. Seen that many a times tonight. The 1-1. Off speed just misses outside. Count 2-1.
Yeah, this gun's having some problems. That was a changeup from Skiro, registered 91 miles an hour.
Now Skiro does throw hard, but not that hard as a 2-1 pitch is fouled off the foot of Keaton Rice. Count stays 2 balls and 2 strikes.
So maybe Noah Skiro is Noah Syndergaard. But other than that, I don't think that's humanly possible.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Always got those long flowing locks.
Count 2 balls and 2 strikes here on Keaton Rice, the catcher out of Bradley. The 2-2. Fastball just misses low and out. Count runs full of 3-2. Rice, last 7 ABs, all of them result in a strikeout. Trying to change things here is the payoff pitch. Fastball at the knees for strike 3. And Rice goes down looking. Skiro picks up 2 strikeouts here in this half inning after 2. Firebirds, Anglers not up at 2-2 ball game. As we'll send it over to Scotty Gage back on the sideline. Scotty.
Thomas, thanks, buddy. 2 things to break down. First off, as this could potentially not a great chance that it will be, but as it could be potentially be the last regular season game of the season, at the very least the second to last regular season game of the season, we've got to send a special thank you to Nauset Grill. We got to send a special thank you to Land Ho and also to Cooks, because without them we couldn't have done our lunches with Kelly and lunches with the Bird interview series, which really was exciting for the Orleans, for me, for everyone here at the Birds Broadcast Network. So to all 3 of those restaurants, we thank and appreciate all of you, and just have to give a special on-air recognition of that. And the other part is, I was going through earlier today and found something that made me laugh. Yesterday, our team writer Alec Hendon did a little selfie video with Eddie McCabe after game 1 in Orleans 8-5W at Harwich, which was the first win of their 2-win day yesterday. And Eddie McCabe, as we know, is kind of growing a bit of a beard, some facial hair. I think it looks all right. I'm no hater on it, but Alex Gamache, his Georgetown teammate, is. He quote tweeted it, says, "Whenever at Eddie McCabe sees this, I would like him to call my cellular and discuss what is growing on his face. Thank you. Hashtag savvy vet. Hashtag giving back. Hashtag FMA." So he's not the biggest fan of it. I think he's got to maybe try to talk Eddie out of it, but who knows? Maybe it's a winning streak beard that Eddie's going, and maybe that could be just another reason why the Firebirds are on that hot streak that they're on right now. That just made me laugh earlier today. Thought I'd share it on the broadcast.
And thank you, Scott. Maybe it can keep things going here for Eddie McCabe, who's been hot at the dish. They had the sacrifice fly in the second inning. Again, 2 sacrifice flies from McCabe and Tanner Murray. Brought in both runs for the Firebirds here. It's a 2-2 ball game now in the top of the 3rd inning. Marcano, Tirani, and Whitcomb, 2-3-4 hitters due up for this Firebirds roster. As Marcano, the DH tonight from the right side. First pitch, fastball hit hard. 1 hops over towards third baseman Arenas. Sets his feet, throws across the diamond to Terrell in time to retire Marcano. Took a perfect hop towards Arenas at third, and Marcano's retired for the second time tonight. One pitch went out for Nick Krauth as Max trying to left fielder. Trying to get this Firebirds offense going here in the third. 4 hits for the Birds so far, resulting in the 2 runs. First pitch to Trani. Big bending curveball. Just falls off the outside corner. Count 1-0. Krauth from the first base side of the rubber. From the windup, the 1-0. As far as an off-speed pitch on the outside of Black. Count a ball and a strike. Keen Rice doing a nice frame job behind the dish. Catcher from Bradley. The 1-1 from the right-hander. Curveball rolled over this time. Back hit it once again by Arenas at third. Comes to his feet, fires to first. It's in time. Jorge Arenas back-to-back putouts. He can do it all. We saw Kaden Polkovich in center last inning. This time, it's Jorge Arenas.
So I've got to imagine. Now, yesterday it was true. Steve Trimper was in the ballpark, the Stetson Hatters head coach. That was his first day on Cape Cod. I'd imagine he stayed a second day and is watching Jorge Arenas tonight, because boy, is he going to be impressed by the play of the third baseman.
Well, especially the playoffs looming as well. First pitch to Shea Whitcomb, catches the outside corner for strike 1.
4 of the first 12 outs tonight for Chatham, or 4 of the first 12 batters faced have been 5-3 putouts.
0-1. Off to just misses the outside corner, count a ball and a strike. Jorge Arenas getting his ground ball work in over there in this ball game. As the 1-1 from Krauth. Curveball is hammered out towards left center field. Polkovich backing him a few steps, just shy of the warning track, and makes the catch for the third out. So Whitcomb just got under it a bit here. This AB 1-2-3 inning worked by Nick Krauth after 2.5. It's a 2-2 ball game, and it's a big ball game here at the Veterans Field. Of course, both teams tied for first place with 48 points. Let's check in over at DY High School at Red Wilson Field as the Harbor Hawks and the Wadi Red Sox battle it out. And Harbor Hawks eliminated for playoff contention, just 8-32-3 on the season coming in. It's be a big game to watch out for. Harwich and Brewster tied at 4 over at Stony Brook Field.
Curry College offers 14 NCAA Division III athletic teams in sports such as football, baseball, softball, basketball.
As is 9-3, Hyannis in the bottom of the 9th inning. 8-2 lead for the Kettleers in Falmouth, top of the 7th there after the Commodores took game 1 of the doubleheader 7-2. Bourne and Wareham getting underway in the 4th inning, bottom of the 4th. Wareham 1, Bourne nothing. Get both those teams both in the playoffs. It'll be Falmouth in the 1 seed, Wareham in the 2, Katuitt pretty much locked in the 3 spot, and Bourne in the 4th hole. Now the Wild East, where it gets interesting. Again, Orleans and Chatham tied up with 48 points. Wadi with 47. Harwich locked in with 43 points. Again, if Wadi drops that ball game to the Harbor Hawks, Orleans and Chatham will stay in the 1 or 2 spot depending on tonight.
Leading off for the Anglers, the second baseman from West Virginia
So, home half of the 3rd inning here from Veterans Field. Firebirds 2, Anglers 2. 9-1 two-hitters due up as Tyler Dones, the second baseman out of West Virginia, straps the batting gloves before getting into the right-hander's batter's box with an all-red baseball bat, not the Chatham blue that we're accustomed to seeing. Fastball runs upstairs for ball 1 on Tyler Dones. So Scaro retired. The Anglers 1-2-3 in the 2nd inning, including 2 punch-outs, 2 backwards Ks to Arenas and Keen Rice. 1-0 misses, low and out, count 2-0. Now the Anglers have struggled with offense, even though they got the 2 runs on the board. And thanks to Kaden Polkovich, just batting $158 as a team over the last 5 games. And that's that 5-game losing streak. 2-0 pitch rolled over down towards the hole on the left side. Tannery backhands it, sets his feet across the diamond in time to retire the speedy Tyler Dones for a big out number 1 here in the 3rd.
Usually it feels like the 2 shortstops are going at it when the Firebirds play, but it's the shortstop for Orleans and the 3rd baseman for Chatham tonight, Jorge Arenas. They're going tit for tat, back and forth, play after play.
Tanner Murray said, Jorge, what you can do, I can do better. And one down here in the bottom of the third. Top of the order rolls back around as Huey Morrow fouls off at first pitch over the first base side. 0-1 on Morrow. Morrow got the first inning started. He singled, stole second base, and then later came in to score. The 5 for 11, 165. Rising sophomore to Oklahoma State. 0-1 pitch. Curveball rolled over towards the shortstop, Tanner Murray. Scoops it up, throws across the diamond. Just in time, by half a step to meet Huey Morrow.
So now Skiro, after serving up the 2-run blast, has retired the last 6 batters he's faced, and it's gone final in YD. A 9-3 Hyannis finish. Both Chatham and Orleans guaranteed home field advantage in the first round of the playoffs.
And that can be big, especially the Firebirds record at home this year, where they felt a lot more comfortable. First pitch to Colin Hall. Off-speed pitch in there at the belt, first strike one. Firebirds this year at Eldridge Park, 13-8-1 record. As the 0-1 pitch, off-speed bounces in the dirt as it scampers past Rob Emery over towards the on-deck circle on the first base side. Count a ball and a strike on Colin Hall. Left fielder tonight, native of Alpharetta, Georgia. He grounded a hard chopper back towards the pitcher Skiro back in the first. Mickey Garcia, the home plate umpire, dusts off home plate and will assume his position once again behind the catcher, Rob Emery. The 1-1. Fastball runs up out of the zone. Count has a 2 balls and a strike. So back-to-back groundouts towards the shortstop, Tanner Murray. Has put Skiro 2 outs here in the bottom of the third. 2-2 ball game. The 2-1 pitch. Fastball just missed the outside corner. Count 3-1. So Colin Hall working the count here on Noah Skiro. We're up to 44 pitches now here through almost 3 innings as the 2-3-1 pitch is hit out towards center field. Herdeby's ranging towards left center. Can't center it and makes the catch for the 3rd out. So Skiro has retired the last 8 hitters in this ball game. 1, 2, 3 inning worked here in the 3rd. As the Firebirds look to get the bats going here, getting to the top of the 4th inning. After 3, Firebirds 2, Anglers 2, as Scotty Gage is back on the first base side, searching for skipper Kelly Nicholson. Scotty on the top step, trying to circumvent all the players shuffling in and out of the dugout on the first base side here at Veterans Field. Scotty making an effort to go into the dugout now to try to pull out Skip. And Scotty's on the prowl. He's going towards the far side of the dugout. Cuts it back. Oh. Trying to seek Skip out there, and he finally has him out there on the first base side. Scotty Gage doing it all down there. Scotty, we'll send it over to you.
Buddy, Coach, I've seen a decent amount of action out in the bullpen. Are we planning to see a lot of guys on the bump tonight?
Well, we hope not. We got Showalter down there and Garcia, so hopefully you're not going to see more than 3 tonight.
You know, 2 runs in the top of the 2nd inning, but I think it sounded like in the 3rd inning, although it was a 1-2-3, you sounded really content with the swings, the barrels, and the hard 90s. What do you like seeing about that and just the effort for the guys on offensively tonight?
We hit some balls right at people. We're putting barrels on balls. We have 4 hits through 3 innings, and I like the way we look offensively right now.
Thanks so much, Coach. Good luck the rest of the way.
Top of the 4th at Veterans Field. Orleans and Chatham tied at 2. After 2 early runs for the Chatham Anglers, the Firebirds have gotten on the board with 2 of their own to tie this up. Right-hander Nick Kraut from UConn gets set, winds and fires first pitch to Zach Britton. Off-speed pitch outside, taken for ball 1. Britton 1 for 1 tonight. He singled back in the 2nd inning. Right fielder from Louisville steps in, the 1-0. Fastball skied back behind the plate and out of play, and it's 1-1. Britton, a left-handed swinger. The right-hander, Nick Kraut, his 4th inning on the Cape. He's retired the last 4 Firebirds he's faced. Here's the 1-1. Breaking ball outside. It's 2 balls and 1 strike. Rob Emery and Eddie McCabe to follow in the inning for the Orleans Firebirds. 2-1 from the right-hander Kraut. Fastball crushed into deep right field. O'Quinn back at the track, looking up. This ball is gone. A home run off the bat of Zach Britton. The right fielder from Louisville takes Nick Kraut deep for his 5th home run of this season, and the Birds are on top. It's 3-2 in the 4th.
What do we tell you? This lineup is so balanced where Whitcomb had a day yesterday going 3 for 4 in a ball game. Now today, Zach Britton's first 2 ABs, singles and scores this time. Makes only 1 trip around the base paths. It's a home run.
And just like that, the Birds have taken the lead for the first time tonight. Rob Emery, the catcher from San Francisco, will dig in from the right side. Kraut trying to bounce back. Right-hander gets the sign. Here's the first pitch to Emery. Breaking ball skips in low for ball 1. So for Zach Britton, it's his 5th home run of the summer. That's 2nd on the Firebirds squad. And all 5 have come against right-handed pitching. 1-0 from Kraut. Fastball cut and missed. It's 1-1. Firebirds have gotten a little home run happy the last week. That's home run number 29 for the Orleans Firebirds this summer. They rank 4th in the Cape League. Here's the 1-1. Breaking ball upstairs, hammered out to right field. O'Gwyn trots to his right, takes a step in, makes the chest-high catch for the first out of the frame.
Going back to that home run here at Veterans Field, it's almost a little like Yankee Stadium down there, 314 in the right field corner. And with some of the wind patterns here at Veterans Field, we're not doing too much right now, but balls can get out of here in a hurry when they catch the jet streams here in Chatham.
So Eddie McCabe takes his turn at the plate. First pitch, fastball chopped to the left side, takes a candy hop for Huey Morrill, fires onto first, and there's 2 away. 3-2 Orleans here in the top of the 4th at Veterans Field with 2 away, thanks to a solo shot by Zach Britton. And now Tanner Murray, who had a sacrifice fly and an RBI. His last time up, will dig in. Kraut, his first start on the Cape, 3 2/3. Has given up 3 runs on 5 hits. Shortstop from UC Davis, slowing the pace of Kraut. He'll take a deep breath and dig in from the right side. Right-hander from UConn gets set. Here's the first pitch home. Fastball downstairs for ball 1. For Murray, he's batting .216 on this summer, but a very strong spring for the Aggies. Led UC Davis in 10 different offensive categories. Here's the 1-0 from the right-hander. Fastball smacked to the left side, takes a hop for Huey Morrill, fields, fires to first, and the side is retired. So Nick Kraut makes quick work of the Orleans Firebirds after a solo home run off the bat of Zach Britton. It's Britton's 5th long ball of the summer, and the Birds have a 3-2 lead in the middle of the 4th at Veterans Field. Listen to Firebirds Baseball on the Birds Broadcast Network.
I like Legos ever since I was a little kid, so...
Was there like a tipping point, like a specific day where you were like, do you know what, Legos are sick?
I think it was just ever since once I figured out what I could do with the Legos, like building spaceships from my own mind, just putting them together and stuff like that.
And it still reigns true today?
Yeah, I do love them. I don't have any with me though.
Oh,
that's the sad
That's
part.
a long summer.
Yeah, I know. That's a long summer.
All right, I'll track you back. If there's one specific Lego Starship, Battle Star, whatever thing that you made that you're most proud of, is there one you could pick out?
Yes, there's one that I made from scratch. Like I took some parts that were in the instructions and then added some new stuff that I wanted from my mind, my imagination, and I really liked it. It was a lot of fun doing it.
What did it look like?
It was like a spaceship, but it had like a little, it was almost like a baseball for like the cruise ship, almost where the driver would sit.
Okay.
And but it was orange. And it was like a little globe that he sat in.
Whoa.
For where like.
You send that into like BMW or anything like that?
No, I didn't. I should have.
Yeah.
I should have.
Bottom of the 4th at Veterans Field. Orleans on top of Chatham, 3-2. Right-hander from Liberty, Noah Skiro, goes back to work for the Orleans Firebirds. He's retired the last 7 batters he's faced. Skiro winds and fires. First pitch to Caden Polkovich. Fastball pounded down the left side. That's going to get down for a base hit. Trani backhands it in the corner. Polkovich takes the turnaround first. He'll put on the brakes, but 1 swing and 1 hit for Caden Polkovich, his 2nd of the night.
So Zach Britton and Polkovich have been the 2 heavy lifters in each of the respective offenses. Polkovich had a nice defensive play in left center field before, but a nice player in left field, but Max trying to cut that ball off because Polkovich out of the box was thinking extra bases. Had a stop about almost halfway between first and second.
It's now Alex Terrell, the batter. First pitch. Fastball skied into shallow right field. Second baseman Shea Whitcomb goes out on the grass. Kemp under it, makes the grab, and there's one down.
We've seen a couple Anglers hitters here in this ball game swing early and often. Alex Terrell just seeing 2 pitches in 2 ABs, and has been retired both times.
It's now Jamal O'Quinn, a right fielder from USC. It's back in the starting lineup for the Chatham Anglers after 4 games off. Orleans 3, Chatham 2. Last the 4th at Veterans Field. Skiro set, first pitch. Breaking ball drops in on the outside corner for strike 1. First pitch curveball from Noah Skiro. And boy, is the right-hander from Liberty not afraid to pitch guys backwards. We've seen it a multitude of times this summer. Gwynn back in from the right side, all blue bat waving over the right shoulder. Right-hander Skiro set, the 0-1 home. Breaking ball flutters outside, it's 1-1. Gwynn bounced out his first time up. It's part of a 1-for-14 skid. Rising junior from Fresno, California. One of the most highly touted prospects on Cape Cod this summer. Polkovich aboard at first with 1 down. Skiro snapped out of first base, and the Oklahoma State product dives back in. Kelly Nicholson told Scotty Gaines the Firebirds going to try and use just 3 pitchers tonight. Justin Showalter seems to be the next man up for Orleans. Skiro another check on Polkovich at first, who dives headlong back into the back. Polkovich a threat to run, 6 for 8 in stolen base attempts this summer. We've seen this Chatham squad middle of the pack when running on the bases in 2019. Skiro set at the belt, 1-1. Fastball dots the outside corner, it's 1-2. Firebirds 3, Anglers 2. Home half of the 4th at Veterans Field. 6'4", 220-pound right fielder from USC steps back in. Gwynn hitting .266 on the summer with 3 home runs. 1-2. Breaking ball, cut on and missed, strike 3. Sharp curveball had O'Gwynn out in front. It's the 3rd K of the night for Skiro, and there's 2 down.
Yeah, Noah Skiro really starting off well in these ABs. Again, when he gets into the count, he's in control. When he falls behind, looking to Polkovich in the first inning of the 2-run home run, it's trouble for him. And that's really just the MO of any pitcher here on Cape Cod if they want to succeed or not.
It's now Jorge Arenas, who's shown off the glove tonight, try and display the wood. First pitch. Fastball runs downstairs for ball 1. Arenas struck out swinging his first time up. It's been a rough skid for Jorge. Just 1 for his last 23. But the one, a home run. His first home run on his Cape Cod Baseball League career. Skiro set at the belt, the 1-out. Fastball ripped out and missed. It's 1-1. For Arenas, played with the A's last summer. Went without a home run across the 2018 campaign. He went through a total of 174 career at-bats on Cape Cod before hitting a long ball. Polkovich on at first with 2 away. Last of the 4th at Veterans Field. Here's the 1-1. Fastball up in the zone, hacked out and missed. It's 1-2. Firebirds 3 runs on 5 hits, no errors, and they've left 2 runners left on base. For the Chatham Anglers, it's 2 runs on 3 hits, 1 error, and nobody left up. 1 ball and 2 strikes against Jorge Arenas. Right-hander Skiro comes set, the 1-2. Breaking ball bounces low. Emery drops down to his knee to block it down. It's 2-2.
Anyway, for Emery to block that ball, don't want to allow Polkovich to get towards second base in scoring position with 2 down.
Arenas looking to avoid being put down via strikes for the 2nd time tonight. 2-2. Curveball flutters outside, and the count runs full. That'll allow Polkovich to get a head start off first base. He represents the tying run in a 3-2 ball game in the home half of the 4th at Veterans Field. Skiro working from the first base side of the rubber. Here's the payoff pitch. Fastball crushed out to deep left center field. Long run for Triney, and Hurtubise is going to get down. Triney cuts it off before the warning tracks. Chugging around third base is Polkovich. The throw goes over the head of the cutoff man, Tanner Murray. It's an RBI double for Jorge Arenas, and the Anglers have tied this ball game up It's 3-3 in the fourth.
Well, that's what Cape Link veteran experience can bring. Again, you mentioned Arenas in his second inning, or second year here on Cape Cod. Works the count to full after falling behind in the count. And able to drive in Polkovich from first base and tie this ball game up.
So now Brady Smith, the DH from Florida, will try and give the Anglers the lead once again. Chatham took a 2-0 lead thanks to a 2-run bomb off the bat of Caden Polkovich back in the first inning. Smith 0 for 1 tonight, flew out his first time up. Skiro set first base side, with Arenas extending his lead off second. First pitch out. Fastball taken above the letters for ball 1. Smith 0 for 6 this summer against the Orleans Firebirds, including a hat trick last night. 6-foot DH from Florida steps in from the right side, the 1-0. Fastball paints the outside corner, it's 1-1. Orleans looking to get some innings from Noah Skiro tonight. Right-hander from Liberty has been sharp all summer long, but the Anglers have found the riddle to the puzzle. 6'3" Canadian hurler comes set at the belt. Checks on Arenas at second, the 1-1. Fastball same spot, calls on the outside corner, it's 1-2. Orleans and Chatham deadlocked at 3 in the fourth at Veterans Field. Second to last game in this regular season of 2019. Both these teams will be at home on Friday night to start the playoffs. 1-2. Breaking ball, cut on and miss, strike 3. Sharp curveball at 82 had Smith fishing, but not before the Anglers tie this ball game up on the RBI double by Jorge Arenas. Chatham scores 1 run on 2 hits, no errors. They leave 1 runner left on base. After 4 at Veterans Field, Firebirds and Anglers tied at 3. Listen to Firebirds Baseball on the Birds Broadcast Network.
Tonight's collectors for Pass the Hat include pitchers Jake Hamilton and Riley Boyd, along with intern extraordinaire Jason Sorby and lead intern extraordinaire Ellie O'Reilly. Again, the Anglers thank you for your support.
Brian's a video spot? No, it could be sent to Scotty. You said N4. Video. Oh, my bad. Why did I read that as middle 4? I sent it to break, I'm sorry.
The local scoop is here, and you can make your own.
Yeah, it's definitely been a nice transition, and it'll be a rough transition when I have to go back to school in August.
So how is that for you? I watched your day in the life video, like I just told you, and you said I wake up at 5:55. I've got cleaning in the morning, platoon cleaning, and then you've got formation, and then class, and then breakfast, and then another class, and then lunch, and then dean's hour, and then class, and I'm running out of breath just talking about it. And then you play baseball for like 4 hours at the end of the day. How is that for you?
Like I said earlier, it's a grind every single day. You kind of fall into a rhythm though, which is really nice, and it's kind of something that I enjoy having. That kind of everyday cycle that we go through. We wake up, we go to breakfast, we do this. It kind of drags on. It makes the days super long, but it's very rewarding, and I've seen dividends.
Top of the 5th at Veterans Field, Orleans and Chatham tied at 3. And the right-hander from UConn, Nick Krauth, and his Cape Cod Baseball League debut goes back out once again. Trevin Escara, first baseman from Loyola Marymount, leads things off. First pitch from Nick Krauth. Fastball sent back up the middle, right at the shortstop, Huey Morrill, who snatches it out of the air for the first out of the inning.
Yeah, and Huey Morrill playing pretty much right up the middle. He'll stay there as well. So it's an interesting defensive alignment there for Tom Holland, but it pays off there. Literally move maybe a step, if anything.
Orleans and Chatham squared at 3, and Jacob Hurtubise digs in for the left side. First pitch from Krauth. Curveball backdoors the outside corner for strike 1. For Hurtubise, he's 1 for 2 tonight, a single to lead off this ball game. Krauth, the right-hander from Connecticut, has pitched 4 innings of 3-run baseball. Krauth winds and fires the 0-1. Fastball backs up Hurtubise. It's 1-1. Krauth was just activated the other day for the Chatham Anglers, making his first start on the Cape. 1-1. Breaking ball skips in low. It's 2 balls and no strikes. Krauth heading to his third school in as many seasons. Put his freshman year at New Mexico before going to Diablo Valley College out in California. Now headed back across the coast to the Connecticut Huskies. Here's the 2-1. Fastball above the letters. It's 3 balls and 1 strike. Hurtaby's already aboard once tonight, trying to do his job as the leadoff man and get on for a second time. Lefty swinger back in, 3-1 from the right-hander. Fastball dots the inside corner. Hurtaby's was on his way down to first base. He'll have to walk back and strap the batting glove back on. Black and yellow batting glove on the bottom right hand. Hurtaby's bare left hand on the bat. 3-2. Fastball taken up and in, ball 4. So this time it's a free pass for Jacob Hurtaby's. Nick Krauth, his first walk on the Cape, and the Birds a 1-out base runner here in the 5th.
Well, that's what Hurtaby's does best. He really works the count on pitchers, able to work a walk. And get the Firebirds a base runner here with 1 down in the 5th.
It's now Julio Marcano, the DH at NJIT, will step in from the right side. Orleans and Chatham squared at 3 in the top of the 5th inning. Hurtaby is a close lead at first base, has his hands on his knees. Krauth comes set and immediately Hurtaby's extends. First pitch. Breaking ball drops in on the inside corner for strike 1. Marcano doesn't like the call, neither does the Orleans dugout on the first base side. It's a big game for both sides. If Chatham wins, they lock up the #1 seed in the East. If the Firebirds win, we'll play game 44 tomorrow. Krauth checks on Hurtaby's at first, and Hurtaby's dives back in. Now, it sounds like either way there will be a game 44 at Veterans Field tomorrow, whether it counts for playoff seeding or not. Hurtaby's on at first with 1 away, the 0-1 home. Hurtaby's running, fastball pounded down the right side in the air. This will trickle out of play. It's 0-2.
May see you on the mound tomorrow if it's still played and not much for grabs.
Well, it sounds like that's what the Chatham Anglers might do. They might throw position player after position player after position player. For the Orleans Firebirds, it sounds like they're going to go with actual pitchers. They just activated 2 new arms in the last couple days. Ben Sears from the Community College of Rhode Island and Hayden Thomas from Texas A&M Corpus Christi. Marcano behind 0-2, and now the right-hander Krauth steps off the mound. Sun going down beyond the left field scoreboard at Veterans Field. Here's the 0-2. Fastball cut on a miss, strike 3. Second strikeout of the night for Nick Krauth. Blows a heater past Julio Marcano, and there's 2 away.
Yeah, Marcano just hasn't figured Krauth out tonight. And, well, Marcano has had a hot tear here since his return back to Cape Cod. A guy like Max Trani 0 for 2 tonight who's coming up the dish right now. Maybe he can turn things around as well. Had a big day yesterday.
So Trani entered 3rd in the league in batting, steps in. First pitch, fastball catches the outside corner for strike 1. Trani 0 for 2 tonight against the Anglers. Picked up the Firebirds' most valuable player recognition yesterday. Check on Hurtaby's at first, and he steps back in. Charles F. Moore Sr. Award to Trani, and he followed suit in that game against the Anglers, going 2 for 3. Another check on Hurtaby's, who skips back to the bag. Terrell fakes the throw back to the pitcher, Krauth, and now he'll toss it back. Hurtaby stayed on the bag the entire time. Firebirds 3, Anglers 3, 2 gone in the top of the 5th inning. Krauth set the 0-1. Fastball above the letters, it's 1 ball and 1 strike. Trani wasn't expected to be here this late in the summer. A temporary player had an internship booked for week 3 in June. Instead, he's here all the way through. 1-1. Fastball runs inside. It's 2 balls and 1 strike.
And now he's going to be in the playoffs here in the Cape League, trying to compete for a Cape League title.
He's got a chance to win the batting title in the regular season as well. Duking it out with Nick Gonzalez of Catuit and Zach Deloach from Falmouth. 2-1. Looping curveball drops in at 70 miles an hour on the inner half. It's 2-2.
I didn't know Gordon Ingebrigtsen from YD was back here.
Nick Krauth has that prowess of pitching guys backwards. Not afraid to throw a curve on a 2-1 count. 2-2. Fastball chopped back to the mound. Krauth comes off in front of the plate. Trots to the first base bag. Underhand flip in time. And the side is retired. So the Firebirds able to get a 1-out base runner, but Orleans unable to break the 3-3 tie. Firebirds scored no runs on no hits, no errors. They leave one runner left on base. We're halfway home at Veterans Field. Firebirds and the Anglers tied at 3. And let's send it down to Scotty Gage with Steve Guerin, the PA announcer for the Orleans Firebirds and the treasurer for the Orleans organization.
Hey, you said it, man. Here with Steve Guerin as the PA announcer and the treasurer, Mr. Do-It-All from the Firebirds. Steve, here we are at Veterans Field. First off, thanks for coming on the broadcast, and how's the game treating you so far?
Well, I mean, tied 3-3. We need to get a couple more hits and get a win here.
All right, so let's talk about the season as a whole. I know you had 22 awesome games of being the PA announcer. When you're up there in the press box, you have the real bird's eye view. What's your favorite part about that role?
I don't know. I like to be up there. I like to kind of have a little bit of control over what's being said and everything. I'm a control guy, so I enjoy it. I love having my own little space that I get to work out of, and I've got the best view in the park.
I know you've been with the Firebirds for 15 years and 5 years as the PA announcer. When you think of the Orleans Firebirds, it's really been your life for these past 15 years, or a large portion of that. What does the Orleans Firebirds mean to you?
Well, it's a pretty amazing thing. I mean, I started off 15 years ago, just volunteering a little bit, and then started hosting players and becoming a treasurer and all that. I've been treasurer for 11 years, president for a couple of years. It's really a big part of my life, but I do a lot of volunteer work, a lot of community service work. I'm treasurer of 6 different organizations, so this is a huge part of my summer. But I do this year round with a lot of different organizations.
Before we
Welcome back to Veterans Field. Orleans and Chatham squared at 3 as we go to the last of the 5th in Chatham, Massachusetts. Noah Skier, right-hander from Liberty, goes back out for his 5th inning on the bump. He'll face Keaton Rice, the catcher from Bradley. First pitch to Rice, chopped up the first base side, fielded by Trevin Esquera, tosses to Skiro covering for the first out of the inning. It's the way it's gone for Noah Skiro, shy of Caden Polkovich tonight. 4 hits for the Anglers, 2 of them from Caden Polkovich. First pitch to Tyler Dones. Fastball spots the outside corner for strike 1. Dones 0 for 1 tonight, bounced out to Tanner Murray, the shortstop, to lead off the 3rd. Skiro winds and fires the 0-1 pitch. Fastball catches the outside corner, it's 0-2. A righty starting to soft toss in the Orleans bullpen. We're told Noah Skiro going to go as deep as he can tonight. 0-2. Breaker just misses outside. It's 1 ball and 2 strikes. Good changeup from Skiro, just ran off the dish a touch too much. Dones a red and black bat, touches it to the right part of the plate. Now digs in from the right side, the 1-2. Fastball gets it off the end of the bat to the screen, and we'll do it again. For Noah Skiro, his 7th and final start of the regular season. He's 1-1 with a 1.82 ERA coming into tonight. 1-2 from the right-hander. Breaking ball. Dones out in front, just flares it back to the screen, and we'll do it again. But tonight the Anglers have found the answer to Skiro. He's given up 3 runs, all earned in the first 4 1/3. Dones playing second base tonight for Tom Holliday's club. We saw him in left field last night as a defensive replacement. 1-2. Breaking ball sent down the right side and out of play. We'll do it again.
Yeah, just Caden Polkovich delivering the 2-run blast. He also has 2 of the 4 hits for the Anglers tonight.
Skiro ahead in the count 1-2. Dones steps back in from the right side. Here's the 1-2. Breaking ball cut on and missed, strike 3. 83-mile-an-hour changeup that had Dones fishing. It's the 5th K of the night for Skiro, and there's 2 away.
Well, Noah Skiro mixes in that fastball, changeup, and curveball. Fastball can touch the low to mid-90s this time. Getting Dones flat-footed and catches him swinging on a pitch out of the zone.
It's now Huey Morrill, shortstop from Oklahoma State, steps in. First pitch, paints the outside corner for strike 1. Morrill 1 for 2, a single in the first inning, came around to score on that 2-run blast from Polkovich. 0-1, breaking ball skips in low, it's 1-1. We probably won't see it tonight, but we'll see Huey Morrill on the mound tomorrow. at Veterans Field. Sounds like Tom Holliday is going to go bunch of different position players to close out the regular season. Here's the 1-1. Fastball runs inside. It's 2 balls and 1 strike. Morrell has been a spark for the Anglers during this losing skid. 2-1, fastball pounded into deep left center field. Long run for Jacob Hurtubise. This caroms off the fence. Morrell digging for second, loses the blue helmet. It's going to bounce on the first base side, and cruising into second base with a stand-up double is Huey Morrell.
Well, Huey Morrell has been dangerous. Picks up a second base in this ball game. Single back in the first, now a double here in the 5th. Bullet to the deepest part of the ballpark here at Veterans Field. Almost in center field. And now the Anglers try to take the lead here in the 5th.
And now Matthew Troop, the Firebirds pitching coach, going to come out and have a word with Noah Skiro. Right-hander from Liberty. Pitch count starting to climb just a touch. 71 pitches in 4 2/3. You'd imagine Orleans will try and keep Skiro on the shorter end. That way he could turn around and pitch in the postseason for Orleans. But Colin Hall is set to bat for the Chatham Anglers. He's 0 for his last 19, and his last hit came 12 days ago at Brewster.
Go check them out. Our good friends at the local scoop.
A reeling hitter trying to find his way back on pace. And all batted .307 this past spring at Georgia Tech, a team that won the ACC Coastal Division. Morrell aboard at second, 2 down in the last of the 5th inning. Firebirds and Anglers squared at 3. Hall steps in left side, right-hander Skiro set at the belt. First pitch. Fastball upstairs, ball 1. For Hall, it's his second go-around on the Cape. It's gone just a touch better than the first. Batted .167 with the Hyannis Harborhawks in 2018 with the Chatham Anglers just under the Mendoza line. 1-0 from Skiro. Breaking ball drops low and in. It's 2 balls and no strikes. Appears that Justin Showalter's tossing in the Firebirds bullpen down the right field line. Right-hander from James Madison would be the next arm into the ball game. 2-0. Fastball pounded into center field for a base hit. Charging around from third base is Huey Morrell. Hurtubise picks it up. The throw will go into second. Colin Hall snaps an 0 for 19 skid, delivers an RBI base knock, and the Anglers take a 4-3 lead.
Well, sometimes when you're down that much, you come up with a big spot, and Colin Hall will deliver an RBI single and driving the go-ahead run here for the Anglers here in the 5th inning. Again, got ahead of the count 2-0, and Colin Hall made Noah Skiro pay.
Caden Polkovich will not get a chance to face Noah Skiro for a 3rd time. Kelly Nicholson, the Firebirds skipper, on his way out to the mound to take the ball from the right-hander from Liberty. Nicholson has it in his hands, and Justin Showalter trotting in from the right field bullpen. Chatham 4, Orleans 3, bottom half of the 5th at Veterans Field. Listen to Firebirds Baseball on the Birds Broadcast Network.
Remember, you have to be in it to win it.
Welcome back to Veterans Field. Chatham on top of Orleans, 4-3 in the last of the fifth in Chatham, Massachusetts. Justin Showalter, the new arm into the ball game for the Orleans Firebirds. It's Showalter's second appearance of the summer. Was recently activated a week ago by Orleans. Showalter 0-1 with a 6.23 ERA. Started against the Brewster Whitecaps 4 days ago. And they'll try and get the Birds out of a jam with Noah Skiro, their all-star right-hander, out in the ball game. Caden Polkovich 2 for 2 tonight. A 2-run shot in the first, a single to lead off the fourth. Showalter set first pitch. Fastball outside for ball 1. Let's give you the partial line for Noah Skiro. He went 4 2/3, 6 hits, 4 runs, all earned, no walks, and 5 Ks. Showalter set at the chest, 1 out. Fastball slings inside, gets past the catcher Rob Emery to the backstop. Colin Hall scampers to second on the wild pitch. And Caden Polkovich ahead in the count, 2 balls and no strikes. Polkovich has been a Firebirds killer all summer long, and Kelly Nicholson knows he's going to intentionally walk Polkovich and set up runners on first and second with 2 outs, and Alex Terrell, the first baseman from Miami, stepping up to the plate.
Yeah, definitely a smart decision. Last time, Polkovich was on the count 2-0, hit a home run over the right field fence onto the hill back in the first inning. And he's had the Firebirds pitching numbers so far today and this whole season.
Terrell hit 24 home runs this past spring at Miami. Can he deliver his third on the Cape after an intentional walk? 2 on with 2 gone. First pitch to Alex Terrell. Breaking ball has Terrell out in front for strike 1. Anglers 4, Firebirds 3, home half of the fifth at Veterans Field. Very important game between Orleans and Chatham. If the Anglers win, they will secure the #1 seed in the East Division. Right-hander set at the chest, 0-1 to Terrell. Fastball runs outside, it's 1 ball and 1 strike. Left-handed swinging first baseman, 0 for 2 tonight. And swung on the first pitch in all 3 at-bats now. 6'1", 220 slugger back in. 1-1 from Showalter. Breaking ball in the dirt, chased by Terrell. It's 1-2. For Terrell, those 24 home runs at Miami tied Yonder Alonso for the second most home runs hit in a single season by a Miami Hurricane. Most in more than a decade, and the only person at more was Phil Lane back in 1982. Showalter set 1-2. Breaking ball swung over the top of for strike 3. Firebirds elect to walk Caden Polkovich, and it pays off as Showalter fans Alex Terrell. But not before the Anglers get another on the board. Chatham scores 1 run on 2 hits. No errors, and they leave 2 runners left on base. After 5 complete innings, the Anglers have a 4-3 lead over the Firebirds, and let's send it over to Scotty Gaines. Scotty.
Scotty, I want to talk what's coming next in the end of fights. Because what's coming next is actually pretty exciting. Sue Horton, the general manager of the Orleans Firebirds, and I are going to go and share a meal tomorrow. We're going to get to hear the stories of Sue, the stories of the Firebirds of the past, quarter century, and just all that came into it. Sue Horton, she's a trailblazer, really, in the Cape Cod Baseball League, and just an absolutely amazing woman. So I can't wait, personally, just to share a lunch and hang out with Sue Horton tomorrow. But I also can't wait to hear her stories and hear all about the Orleans Firebirds from her eyes. And, more than a quick conversation, or even more than a 5-minute conversation. I'm going to get to sit down with her and hear all about it. So I really, really can't wait for that. Again, we're going to be sitting down tomorrow. The sit-down full interview is going to come out in a couple days. Also, Zach Britton, Matthew Troop, sat down with them earlier this week, so that's going to come out later. Zach Britton and I talked about just his competitive atmosphere and just competitive nature and, staying happy through everything that life might throw at you. And then also Matthew Troop, he is just all about picking up other people's days. So it's just so fun to hear from those two. So those are coming out in the next couple of days as the regular season winds down. And Sue Horton tomorrow. What a fun time that will be. I seriously cannot wait, guys. But I also can't wait for the rest of this ball game. So I'll send it over to you.
Well, thank you, Scotty. Top of the 6th at Veterans Field. Chatham on top of Orleans, 4-3. Nick Krauth in his Cape Cod Baseball League debut goes back out for his 6th inning of work. Right-hander from UConn has surrendered 3 runs over the first 5 innings, but Tom Holliday trusting him in a must-win game for the Anglers. First pitch to Shea Whitcomb. Breaking ball catches the inside corner for strike 1. It'll be 4, 5, and 6 for the Firebirds, with Zach Britton and Rob Emery to follow. Whitcomb batting from the right side, open stance, waving the black bat over the right shoulder. 0-1. Breaking ball tapped in front of the plate, bounces to the right and out of play. It's no balls and 2 strikes. Whitcomb out of UC San Diego with 8 home runs this summer. Most long balls by a non-Division I player on the Cape since 2000. That's as far as the records go back on the Cape League's website. Here's the 0-2. Breaking ball chopped up the third base side, past Jamie Quinn, the third base coach, and out of play, and we'll do it again.
Whitcomb has made a gigantic footprint on this Firebirds lineup over the last week or so, and he deserves all the recognition he can get.
A fixture in the heart of Orleans lineup the rest of the summer. 0-2. Breaking ball skied right side, foul ground. Catcher Keaton Rice sheds the mask. Alex Terrell, the first baseman, coming in, charges all the way in front of the Orleans dugout to make the grab for the first out of the frame.
Well, that was a long run for the first baseman. Keaton Rice stopped just a step in front of where it ended up. Terrell tracking maybe a little bit better. Easier run for Terrell at first base as he's coming in compared to Rice, who's going sideways, a V-line towards the first base dugout where the Firebirds are. And Terrell makes the catch.
So now Zach Britton, right fielder from Louisville, who had his 5th home run his last time up, will step in from the left side. Right-hander Nick Krauth trying to keep the Anglers in front. They lead over the Firebirds 4-3. First pitch to Britton. Fastball fouled back out of play for strike 1. That one going over the press box at Veterans Field. Britton 2 for 2 tonight, a single in the second, a solo shot in the 4th. 0-1. Breaking ball right down Broadway, it's 0-2. Boy, is Nick Krauth giving Tom Holliday what he expected and more. Right-hander from UConn eating up innings, looking for his 3rd K. 0-2, breaking ball sent back to the screen, and we'll do it again.
Almost getting over the netting there. Had a little bit of heat on that one.
At the top part of the netting before a couple thousand plus fans at Veterans Field would have had a chance. 0-2, breaking ball shot back up the middle for a base hit. Zach Britton, a 3-hit performance for the Louisville Cardinal, and he represents the tying run on first base.
Yeah, Zach Britton has just had Nick Krauth's number all game long, collecting his 3rd base hit now. That one's a laser shot right back up the middle. Well, comebacker action as Krauth try glove it, but it goes past him.
So now a chance for Rob Emery, catcher from San Francisco, who's 1 for 2 tonight. Rising redshirt senior steps in from the right side. Right-hander Krauth set at the belt. First pitch. Breaking ball shot out to deep right field. O'Gwyn ranging back. Settles in front of the warning track, has room. Makes the grab for a loud out number 2.
Yeah, Emery caught a lot of barrel on that one. Just got under it a tad in wrong part of the ballpark. That went out towards right center field, a little bit deeper than it is down the right field line. Would have had a chance if it was about 30, 40 yards towards the corner.
So now Eddie McCabe will try and capitalize on the 1-out base hit from Zach Britton. With the Birds trailing the Anglers 4-3 in the 6th. First pitch, looping curveball, drops in on the inner half. Another 70-mile-an-hour 12-6 breaker for strike 1. Long stare in from the right-hander from UConn in his first start on the Cape. This will be pitch number 80, 0-1. Fastball pounded to the right side, into right field for a base hit. Britton on his horse, he'll go first to third. Now he puts on the brakes. The throw goes into second, not in time. O'Gwyn fired it into second base. Britton was charging around the second base bag, decided to put on the stop sign late. That's where the throw went, but got back in. And the Birds with runners on first and second and 2 away.
Yeah, Britton just taking a turn there at second base. Then a bullet from O'Gwyn in towards second base. Britton stops all his momentum and heads it back the other way. Just getting back in safely at second base.
And now Dennis Cook, the Anglers pitching coach in his 2nd year, will come out and have a word with Nick Krauth. Trying to give Krauth some time to breathe. Face the 8-hole hitter in this Firebirds lineup, Tanner Murray. Firebirds trailed by a run here in the 6th inning. It's the Anglers 4 and Firebirds 3. Second to last game of the regular season in 2019. McCabe aboard at first, Britton off of second. 2 gone in the top of the 6th at Veterans Field. Murray 0 for 1 tonight, but had a sacrifice fly back in the 2nd inning. This is his 14th RBI of the summer, looking for the big number 15 right here. Shortstop from UC Davis digs in from the right side. Right-hander Crouch set, first pitch. Curveball drops downstairs for ball 1. Murray drove in 31 runs this past spring for the Aggies. Trying to tie this ball game up and give the Birds a chance at being the best team in the East Division. Crouch set, first base side, 1 out. Fastball skied into deep right field. O'Gwyn ranging back. He's at the track, looking up, makes the grab in front of the fence. Tanner Murray gave it a ride to deep right field, but Jamal O'Gwyn used all of his 6'4" frame to make the grab at the wall for the final out of the 6th inning. Firebirds score no runs on 2 hits, no errors, and they leave 2 runners left on base. After 5.5, it's the Anglers 4 and the Firebirds 3. And Thomas, the playoff race heating up as we come down the stretch of the regular season. And this is a must-win ball game for the Orleans Firebirds. They want to be the #1 seed in the East Division.
Yeah, they got some help from the Highness Harbor Hawks I mentioned earlier. 9-3 victory over the Whitey Red Sox back at Red Wilson Field. Kettleers all over the Commodores, 13-2 in the bottom of the 7th inning. Wareham 4-0 lead over the Bourne Braves in the bottom of the 7th inning. Again, playoff picture matching up now just a bit more. Again, Orleans and Chatham, 48 points, all tied up in first place. Whitey with 47 points. They dropped to 22, 19, and 3. That's all they'll stay. So again, Orleans and Chatham, whoever wins this ball game will take the 1 seed, and whoever loses this game will drop to the #2. Harwich ties Brewster today after the Whitecaps fell to the Mariners last night in a must-win game for them. So the Whitecaps were eliminated in the playoffs yesterday. And they finished the season 18-22-3 with 39 points. Harwich finishes at 500, 21-21-2.
Bottom of the 6th at Veterans Field. Anglers on top of the Firebirds, 4-3. The right-hander from James Madison, Justin Showalter, who got the Birds out of a jam to end the 5th, goes back out for the 6th at Veterans Field. Jamal O'Gwyn steps in from the right side. First pitch from Showalter. Breaking ball tails outside for ball 1. It'll be 5, 6, and 7 for Chatham in the inning. Jorge Arenas and Brady Smith to follow. 6'4" right fielder back in from the right side. 1-0. Breaking ball paints the inside corner. It's 1-1. Back-to-back curveballs from Justin Showalter, trying to keep one of the most dangerous hitters on Cape Cod off balance. Showalter winds and fires 1-1. Breaking ball ripped out and missed. It's 1-2. O'Gwyn 0 for 2 tonight, struck out swinging back in the 4th inning. One of 6 strikeouts tonight for the Firebirds pitching staff. 1-2. Fastball taken on the outside corner. Bring him up, strike 3. 89-mile-an-hour heater that dotted the outside part of the plate. O'Gwyn leaves the bat on the shoulder, and there's 1 away.
Showalter looking sharp here for the first 2 batters that he has recorded out on. Struck out Terrell to end the 5th, and then backwards K here to start out the 6th inning. Pounded the zone early and often to get ahead of these Chatham Anglers hitters.
Jorge Arenas now the batter. First pitch from Showalter. Arenas shows bunt, nubs up the first base side, but foul into the Orleans dugout for strike 1. Showalter elected to pitch Jamal O'Gwyn backwards. 3 consecutive breaking balls before a fastball taken on the outside corner. Chatham on top of Orleans, 4-3 with 1 away in the last of the 6th. 0-1, breaking ball waved out and missed. It's no balls and 2 strikes. Arenas delivered an RBI double his last time up at the plate. That allowed Chatham to tie the ball game in the 4th inning. Showalter ready to go, first base side. Roxon fires the 0-2. Fastball taken above the letters. It's 1 ball and 2 strikes. For Arenas, he's just 2 for his last 24, but both hits have been huge for the Anglers. His first home run in his Chatham career, as well as that RBI 2-bagger. 1-2. Breaking ball hammered to the left side, backhanded by the shortstop Tanner Murray. Throw on the run, scooped out by Esquera in time. What a play by Tanner Murray, who gloved it with the backhand in the hole, threw it in the air, and in time to Trevin Esquera at first for the second out of the inning.
Lennon McCabe off the barrel, kind of lunged at it as he was falling down towards the ground, and Tanner Murray comes around the baseball, get his momentum, able to throw off his back foot, somehow gets over to first base, and Trevin Esquera with a nice stretch and scoop job out over there at the bag to get Jorge Arenas.
It's now Brady Smith, the batter, first pitch. Breaking ball cut on and missed for strike one.
It's ironic because we saw Arenas with a couple nice plays down the third baseline early in the game, and this time Murray gets Arenas.
Firebirds down by a run here in the sixth, trailing 4-3. 0-1. Breaking ball has Smith out in front. It's 0-2. It's been nearly exclusively breaking balls in this inning from Justin Showalter, trying to keep the Anglers off balance. Right-hander from James Madison has retired all 3 anglers he's faced tonight. Smith back in from the right side. Here's the 0-2. Breaking ball skied down the right side and out of play, and we'll do it again. Smith 0 for 2 tonight, struck out swinging his last time up. Bottom third of this Anglers lineup, a combined 0 for 6. Showalter gets the sign, the 0-2 coming home. Breaking ball, Smith got a piece, Emery couldn't hold on, we'll do it again. Smith, the East Division All-Star, recently inserted back in the Anglers lineup. Had missed 5 games dealing with a groin injury, but played in both games of the doubleheader yesterday. DH from Florida steps back in, the 0-2 from the right-hander. Breaking ball cut on and missed, strike 3. Justin Showalter, right-hander from James Madison, retires the Anglers in order in the 6th. He set down all 4 batters he's faced tonight at Veterans Field. We're through 6 complete innings in Chatham, Massachusetts. Orleans down by a run against Chatham. It's 4-3. You listen to Firebirds Baseball on the Birds Broadcast Network.
It's definitely been a summer that I'll never forget.
I know the relationships have been so special for you. How much fun has that been for you to make these relationships with guys from across the country?
Well, when you get to sit in a bullpen for 9 innings with a guy from UNC or a guy from Loyola Marymount, like it's definitely you're forced to make friends out there.
Yeah, you better make friends with those guys.
If not, it's gonna be a long 9 innings. But no, for all the guys that I've met up here have been just great guys, and like that's what we did. Like in our mind up thing today, we did. It was like, what is the goal that you want after this summer with your team? And it's like to create like a lifelong friendship with people. And like I truly believe that I've definitely made some of those throughout this.
The first baseman, number 2, Trevin Esquera.
Top of the 7th inning from Veterans Field in Chatham, Massachusetts. It's the Chatham Anglers 4, Orleans Firebirds 3 here on the Birds Broadcast Network. Thomas Anzrella alongside Josh White. 9-1-2 drew up for the Firebirds. First pitch swinging Trevin Esquera, and a pitch in the dirt for strike 1. Esquera, the first baseman from Loyola Marymount. Playing first base this evening for the Firebirds. Nick Croft back on the hill for the Anglers. 0-1 a curveball. Pushes in on the inside corner, misses for ball 1. Count a ball and a strike. 9-hole hitter. Esquera so far 1 for 2. Singled back in the 2nd, lined out to shortstop Morrill in the 5th as the 1-1. This is up and on zone. Count 2-1. Kraft kicks and fires. 2-1 for the windup is 2-1 fastball. Foul back to netting behind the dish. Kind of ends up at 2 balls and 2 strikes. 2 runs in the bottom of the 1st for the Anglers. Kane Polkovich 2-run blast. Firebirds put 2 up in the 2nd and then scored another playing the game as well as the 2-2 pitch bounced over towards the shortstop. Morrell comes across the bag at second on the first in time to Taraskara for the first out.
Number 17, Jacob Hurtubise.
It was a run in the fourth, and that has done it all for the Firebirds. It was a Zach Britton solo blast. After 2 sac flies in the second, Murray was robbed of a base hit by Polkovich in center, who's red out the dish for the Anglers right now. One down near the top of the seventh. First pitch to Jacob Hurtubise. Misses low and in for ball one. Hurtubise, the rising senior at Army. So far, has singled, walked, and grounded out. 1-0 fastball misses above the letters. Count 2 balls and no strikes. Hurtubise was doing military training before he came here to the Cape. That's why he came a little bit later. Stuck with the Harwich Mariners, before coming over to Orleans. 2-0 fastball in there at the knees. Count 2 balls and a strike from Nick Krauth.
Scotty, we'll push your head to N7 if it's okay.
Again, Hurtubise batting .357 the last 10 games and 2 RBIs. 2-1 fastballs pounded back to the screen once again behind the dish. Count 2 balls and 2 strikes. Krauth at one point retired 9 in a row for Zach Britton home run. 2-2. Curveball reach for, hit towards the hole on the left side of the infield. It gets through. The third baseman Arenas and the shortstop Morrill after the shift was on up the middle, with Morrill playing up towards the second base bag. And Hurtubise reaches with a single for the second time today. Now 2 for 3 in this ball game with a walk.
Pitch hitter.
So Hurtubise off of first base with 1 down, as a pinch hitter is coming on here for the Orleans Firebirds. It's going to be Zach Kokoska, the outfielder from Kansas State, who was pinch hitting for Julio Marcano. Marcano struggled tonight, showed his human life here tonight after Marcano was putting up just numbers for the Firebirds this year. First pitch to Kokoska. Off-speed pitch on the outside corner for strike 1. Runner on first base, 1 down here in the top of the 7th. Anglers 4, Firebirds 3. Krauth working from the stretch, comes set at the belt. Check on over at first base on Hurtubise. He dives back in safely. So count no balls and 1 strike here on Zach Kokoska. Batting .219 here on the Cape and 96 ABs. Krauth comes set, nods, kicks and fires 0-1. Pitch fouled off at the dish. Count 0-2 on Kokoska. Again, Firebirds trying to tie things up here in this ball game. Again, winner would take the number 1 seed in the East Division for now. Krauth looks in towards the catcher, Keaton Rice. Nods, gets his side, checks over at first on Hurtubise. The 0-2. Fastball broken, bat hit over towards the third baseman Arenas. 1 hop over to him. Only plays to first base in time for Tyler Kokoska. After the tandem bat shattered out towards the shortstop position towards Huey Morrill. And they're 2 down here in the 7th.
The left fielder, number 32, Max Troiani.
So now Hurtubise over at second base. After back-to-back groundouts in this inning to Jorge Arenas. First pitch swinging curveball to Max Troiani for strike 1. I should say 2 groundouts in this inning to Jorge Arenas. Again, he has gotten just a ton of ground balls over that third base position. Hurtubise leads off a second. Doan's holding him on the second baseman. 0-1 pitch tapped up the first base side. Terrell fields it. Flip on to first in time. And Shriners retired for the 4th time tonight. Firebirds trying to run around second base. No runs on 1 hit. No errors and 1 man left on base. We're through 6.5 here. Stretch time here at Veterans Field. It's the Anglers 4, Firebirds 3. We'll keep it right here for you. We're going to take a look around the Cape. Commodores 7-2 victory over the Kettleers in game 1 of that doubleheader. Bottom of the 7th now in game 2. It's been all Katuitt and Arnie Allen down in game 2. 13-2 lead over the Commodores. And again, the Commodores have suited up. The number 1 seed in the West Division looked like a team to beat out there, as the Mariners and the Whitecaps draw at Stony Brook Field. 4-4 ball game there again. The biggest game of the night at Red Wilson Field. Hyannis 9, Waddy 3. Waddy finishes the year with 47 points and a 22-19-3 record. Bourne trailing the Wareham game right now, 4-0 in bottom of the 8th inning at Spillane Field. And here at Veterans Field, Chatham 4, Orleans 3, heading to the bottom of the 7th inning. So what's at stake again? Well, it is the number 1 seed, and then it's trying to be locked up in the East Division. Firebirds, where last time the number 1 seed was back in 2017. Chatham has been the number 1 seed in the East in quite some time. 2013 you have to go back to find the veterans, or the Anglers, the number 1 seed. They were 26-17, won a year at 53 points. And the end of the season on a 5-game losing streak as well, including a pounce from the Firebirds, 13-2 victory back in 2013 to end the season, the regular season. First pitch misses up and out of the zone for ball 1 of the catcher, Keen Rice, out of Bradley. So Kokoska just stays in the DH spot again for Julio Marcano. 1-0 from Showalter. Fastball is flown out towards shallow left field. Heading down to take a look at McCabe and the shortstop Murray, but it's out of play. Down the third base side. Count a ball and a strike on Keen Rice, the catcher. Rice so far 0 for 2, a strikeout and the ground-out victim. Has struggled with his time here the last few games or so. As the 1-1 pitch is a wave and a miss for strike 2. Count a ball and 2 strikes. So Showalter has been sharp so far since entering the game with 2 outs in the 5th inning. Has recorded 3 strikeouts out of the 4 outs. Looking for another one here. 1-2. Fastball, check swing, he goes around, says Mickey Garcia, home plate umpire. And Justin Showalter continues to dominate the mound. He can strike out number 4 out of the 5 batters that he has faced. So Tyler Doan's now the second baseman out of West Virginia, 0 for 2 in this evening's ball game. 5'10", 190 right-hander out of Morgantown, West Virginia. Batting .236 coming into this ball game as first pitch rises above the letters for ball 1. 1 out here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Chatham 4, Firebirds 3. Showalter from the windup, kicks and deals the 1 out. Off-speed pitch just tipped on and fell back behind the dish to the screen, kind of 1-1. The Doans led the Mountaineers in average this past season. Of course, teammate of his, Alec Manoa, played for the Anglers last year. 1-1 pitches sky down over the first base over the snack shack. Got the ball and 2 strikes. Count 1 and 2 here with 1 down in the bottom of the 7th inning. Showalter looking for strikeout number 5 here. Waits for Tyler Doan to raise the bat above his shoulder. 1-2 curveball is punched out high in the air down the first base side. Scare backs up the outfield grass, heads into foul ground. It makes the catch in foul territory for the second out. So 6 straight hitters have been retired by Justin Showalter since he has entered this ball game. Making his second appearance, I should say, made a start against Bruce in the doubleheader. Pitched for the Firebirds last year towards the end of last season. Now gets his second stint here, and he's running with it for sure. So Hugh Morrill, the shortstop, top leader, runs back around for the Anglers. First pitch fastball outside black for strike 1. Morrill, native of Live Oak, Florida, out of Oklahoma State. 0-1 breaking ball. Just misses the bottom part of the zone. Count of 1-1. 2 down here in the bottom of the 7th inning. 4-3 Anglers lead. Showalter sets and fires the 1-1. Hit hard past the mitt of Showalter towards the second baseman. Wickham moves to his right. Set up throw to first in time to retire the speedy Huey Morrill. A 1-2-3 inning worked here by Justin Showalter. After 7, it's the Chatham Anglers 4 and the Orleans Firebirds 3. As we'll send it back down to Scotty Gage on the sidelines for some more. Scotty?
Yeah, I mean, hey, just getting the fun opportunity to kind of chit-chat with, everyone in the Firebirds family that's out here. George, Mr. Firebird is here. He's the really loud one. You guys probably hear him from up top. And just speaking, Martha O'Donnell and getting to hear more about her life on the Cape, and she calls it the bubble. Have either of you guys ever heard of Jamba Juice, the smoothie place? I'm going to take that as a no, but Jamba Juice is my childhood. If you ever go, get the red gummy, tell them wherever it is across the country that Scotty sent you. They won't know you, but they will be like, you'll get a funny look. It'll be really funny. But I told her, I'm like, Jamba Juice? She goes, Jamba Juice? I have no idea what you're talking about. It's the bubble. That's what I'm telling you about. Jamba Juice is around the country. If you go to Jamba Juice, again, get the red gummy. Jamba Juice is not a proud supporter of the Orleans Firebirds, but they are a proud supporter to Scotty Gage's happiness. And that's my night right now. So it's a really exciting game, and I'm kind of getting to play role as spectator and really just kind of understand a different angle tonight. It's really fun. As we know, this game actually really has so many implications on it. Playoff seedings and all that, and most of all, just bragging rights. It's a classic Orleans-Chatham rivalry. It's nothing like it. And I think Kelly Nicholson knows that best. Whenever you talk to him about, Chatham Orleans, he just gets that big smile on his face, and it just kind of means more. So to take that away from college football and all that, and SEC, Chatham Orleans, man, it just means more.
And thank you, Sky. Sorry to not hear you there before during that break. As new pitcher on the mound for the Chatham Anglers, Dane Campandi, rising senior from Louisiana Tech. Just pitched 3 innings back at school this year at Louisiana Tech. Was down with the Winchester Royals during this summer in the Valley League, 1-1 with a 1.20 ERA in 3 appearances. Started 3 games, pitched 15 innings, struck out 14 and walked 7. The Evergreen, Colorado native making his first appearance here on Cape Cod. As Nick Krauth will depart from this ball game, and what a gem pitched by him. 7 innings, 8 hits, 3 runs, 3 earned, 1 walk and 2 punch-outs. Not too shabby for your first start on the Cape. As Shea Wickham will start things off here for the Firebirds in the top of the 8th inning. Anglers 4-3 lead over the Firebirds. First pitch to Wickham, a fastball in there on the inside corner for strike 1. Good Wickham, quiet night so far, 0 for 3, which is not the Shea Wickham that we are accustomed to seeing here over the last week, batting .384 the last 10 games. As Capani steps off the backside of the rubber. Again, the right-hander out of Louisiana Tech. Capani comes set from the stretch at the letters. Kicks and fires the 0-1. Big breaking slider there, just runs off the outside corner. Kind of ball on a strike. Here in the month of July, Shea Wickham has turned on a second gear, batting .338 in this month. Obviously, a lot more games played as well in this month. Kind of ball on a strike on Shea Wickham. Open stance from the right side. Capani kicks and fires the 1-1 curveball. Just comes in a bit too high there. Count 2 balls and 1 strike. Wickham a ground out in the first, flew out in the 3rd, and popped out in the 6th. Glances down towards Jamie Quinn of the third base coach's box. Firebirds trailing a run here. And Wickham can tie it up with just 1 swing of the barrel. Capani nods and fires 2-1. Fastball popped up behind the dish and out of play. Kind of ends up at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Capani stepped off the rubber for a second. Now we'll step back on. 8 home runs on the season for Wickham. The 2-2. Off-speed pitch, check swing, misses down in the zone for ball 3. Count is 4, 3 balls and 2 strikes on Shea Wickham.
Now, Thomas, the other day, it was a 2-run 8th inning rally for the Birds. It was Shea Wickham who blasted a 2-run shot. But could it be the other way? Wickham starts it off with a walk, and then Britton blasts a 2-run shot.
3-2 pitch. Once again, Wickham just gets a piece of it. Fouls it off over the first base side towards the netting. Once again, 3 balls and 2 strikes. So Whitcomb steps out from the right side, restraps the batting gloves. As he taps home plate with the cross sign over the dish. Capani comes set. The 7th pitch of the AB. Fastball's fouled back to the screen once again. And do it again. 3 runs, 8 hits, no errors for the Firebirds. 4 runs, 6 hits, and 1 error reaches the scoreboard out in left field. Wickham once again taking his time to get back into the right side. As Capani looks in towards the catcher, Keen Rice. Gets the sign he wants. Nods, and the payoff pitch. Fastball inside corner, check, swing, no, ball 4. They'll check it down there, and they'll say he went around, says the first base umpire, Joe Labella. And Whitcomb is punched out here.
Well, Tom Holliday and Dennis Cook were ready to throw hands with the home plate umpire. They came charging out from the third base dugout. Once the appeal went down to Joe Labella, that was enough to make them run right back to the dugout.
So Capani strikes out Shea Wickham to start things off here in the 8th inning. First pitch to Zach Britton, a fastball catches the inside corner. Rice can't hold on as it squeaks past him over towards Rob Emery in the on-deck circle, 0-1. So Zach Britton with a home run back in the 4th inning, 3 for 3. Has he not been stopped so far? The outfielder from the University of Louisville. 0-1 from Capani. Fastball broken, bat hit through the right side, stopped by the second baseman. Dones on to first. A no throw as it aids up by Dones. As Zach Britton, a perfect 4 for 4 this game, putting his chances in for bird ball of the game here late in this ball game. So with Britton over at first base, it brings up the go-ahead run to the dish in Rob Emery, the catcher out of San Francisco. 1 down here in the top of the 8th inning. Get Nick Ralph going 7 innings, 8 hits, 3 runs, 3 earned, 1 walk, and 2 punch-outs. Capani retired Whitcomb to start things off here with a strikeout in the 8th. Capani comes set, fires towards home. Big bending curveball at 73 miles an hour on the inside half of the plate for strike 1 of Rob Emery. Emery so far 1 for 3. Hit a boom of a ball out towards the right center field gap at the warning track his last time out in the 6th. Time is called by the catcher, Keen Rice. Wants to go through the set of pitches once again with Capandi. Got no balls and 1 strike on the redshirt senior, the 0-1. Curveball bounces in, gets past the catcher, Keen Rice, and head towards the backstop off the bricks. As now Zach Britton cruises into second base. Tying run now. Just a base hit away.
And we saw Orleans take advantage last time after the wild pitch in the 2nd inning. Back-to-back sac flies brought in a couple of runs. That would have just been 1 run if not for the wild pitch, and this is a chance for the Birds. Now a single potentially ties this game up.
Rob Emery with 9 RBIs on the season. Looking for number 10, maybe 11 here. The 1-1. Curveball, cut on a miss, gets past the catcher Rice once again, and Zach Britton advances to third base now. So just 90 feet away stands Zach Britton from tying up this ball game, and also just a fly ball away for another sacrifice fly. Again, Firebirds had 2 in the 2nd inning, 1 by Adam McCabe and the other by Tanner Murray. Got a ball and 2 strikes on Rob Emery. Taps home plate twice with the black and tan barrel. Capandi comes set. Infield in for the Anglers here, the 1-2. Fastball fouled off the dish, hits off the ankle of Emery. And they'll do again 1-2. So back-to-back wild pitches has put Zach Britton over at third base. 1 down here in the top of the 8th. Chatham 4, Orleans 3. Infield in for the Anglers. All around as the 1-2 pitch. Fastball hits off the elbow of Rob Emery as he'll toss the barrel Over towards the Firebirds' first base dugout. It's a hit by pitch. As now Eddie McCabe will strut into the right side. Already has an RBI added to his name, a sacrifice fly in the second. He also singled in the sixth as well. McCabe taps the wood bat to his spikes. As the corners look to stay in here, middle back for the Anglers. Runners on the corners, one down. Cabani comes set. Kicks and fires as McCabe shows bunt, pulls it back, gets past the catcher, Rice towards home plate. Brennan coming in, he'll dive, he's in. And Zach Brennan comes in to score, and we are tied in Chatham here in the top of the 8th inning. Chatham 4, Orleans 4.
You can't write this stuff better than that, Thomas. Couple of wild pitches, now a pass ball on Eddie McCabe on a safety squeeze. He was giving himself up, showing bunt, and the pitcher, Ponde, just couldn't fire a strike to Keaton Rice. That went up and away. Rice couldn't hold on, and now the Birds are going to bring a pinch runner in at second base for the go-ahead run.
Zach Daniels at second base. We have seen some wacky endings here at Veterans Field. The only other trip this year was a walk-off E1 on a sacrifice to give Chatham an 8-7 victory back on July 3rd. McCabe in for the right side. Count 1 ball and no strikes. Daniels off a second, the 1-0. Change up misses down in the zone. Count 2 balls and no strikes. So after Emery was hit by a pitch, takes second on the pass ball. And the Firebirds now have a chance to take this lead here in the 8th. Daniels leading off a second base. Dones, the second baseman, holding him on. As pickoff over throw towards second base. Might have had Daniels. He wasn't seeing Capandi on the mound turning and going towards second, but Dones not on the base.
Tom Holliday is irate right now from the third base side. He's on the top step, right hand on the hip. He came out a couple steps to yell at Tyler Dones and Capandi on the mound.
2-0 to McCabe. Fastball is hammered back to the screen. Count 2 balls and 1 strike.
The radar gun was psychic. It should
Now there's part of Chatham that makes you want to think, do you intentionally walk Eddie McCabe to set up the double play? Now the only downside about that is if somehow there's a double, that would not only make it a 1-run ball game, but a 2.
Decision for Tom Holland on the third base dugout. 2-1 curveball chopped towards the shortstop, Huey Morrow. Flip on towards third base, towards Zach Daniels. He's out. Over towards Jorge Arenas, who applies the tag. A slow chop to the left side. Morrow has the time and guns out Zach Daniels.
Yeah, you can't run on that ball. It's plain and simple like that. The ball's in front of you. You don't run is what you're taught with less than 2 outs. Daniels decided to test the arm of Morrill, who's shown off a cannon across the diamond tonight. Instead, just has to make a short one to third to peg him. With Daniels' speed, a single brings you home. That's what the Birds might be able to get here with Tanner Murray.
2 down here in the top of the 8th. Firebirds 4, Anglers 4. Runner on first base. So Tanner Murray, the shortstop, who had a moonshot into the night that just fell short of the fence. Back in the 6th. Now digs in from the right side here in the 8th. First pitch from Capandi. Fastball, foul tipped in the mitt of Keaton Rice for strike 1. Anglers fans get a little restless here in this 8th inning. After 2 wild pitches and a pass ball, pretty much brought Zach Brennan home. Oh, 1. Curveball dubbed down towards shortstop Morrill. Flip on to Dones at second base for the force out. And the side is finally retired here in the 8th inning. So the Firebirds do get a run here in this inning on just 1 hit. No errors. And 1 man left on a base. We're through 7.5 here at Veterans Field. It's a 4-4 ball game between the Firebirds and the Anglers. As we'll send it back over to Scotty Gage. Scotty?
Thomas, thanks, buddy. I got to, kind of go out into center field, so Out into deep center field. You know, Chatham has a bit of a hill, you know, at the outfield, just like how Eldridge Park has it along the right field line. Chatham's got that from center field to the right field foul pole. And it was kind of fun for me to walk around and see that and be in that atmosphere. I'll tell you what, lots of Chatham fans out there. So when I was getting to watch that the game and Zach Britton score from home from that angle, I actually left before, you know, the second, third out of that inning were recorded. So I was there when Zach Britton scored. Lots of people were not happy about that. It was just kind of silly to hear them kind of go, oh, no, no, when they scored, tied the game. You know, it's just fun to be at different parts of the stadium and get to hear, you know, the different fans in different areas. You know, I'm guessing on the Orleans area, everybody's going crazy. Zach Britton ties the game, you know, gets 3 pass balls, goes home and scores. And the Chatham fans out in center field were just ballistically angry, and they were losing their minds because there was 3 pass balls and there was a 1-run game in the top of the 8th inning for first place. So it's kind of funny to see how that all went down, and just to kind of be an observant observer, really. And yeah, always kind of fun to see and just feel the different areas of the stadium.
Thank you, Scotty. As it's always interesting here when you come in to Veterans Field and you can hear the fans really get into it here. They care about our Angler baseball. Bottom of the 8th inning, as Colin Hall will start things off from the left side against Justin Showalter. First pitch to Colin Hall is ripped out towards left field. Trani on the run out there and left, just glides to his left to make the catch for a loud out number 1. So Colin Hall caught a good piece of wood, but Trani only moved about 2 steps to his left to make the catch for 1 down here in the bottom of the 8th inning. And now here is the man of the hour in Chatham. It is Caden Polkovich, 2 for 2, with a 2-run blast back in the first single and scored in the 4th. First pitch in there for strike 1. He was then intentionally walked in the 5th. That's when Justin Showalter entered the ball game with 2 down in that inning. As the 0-1 pitch misses down and in, got a ball and a strike. Showalter, 2 2/3 innings so far. Struck out 4. Nothing doing for the Anglers since the 1-1. Fastball runs low and out, count 2-1. He's retired 8 in a row since coming to this ball game. 2-1 from Showalter. Fastball runs up and in. Polkovich had now 3 balls and a strike. And every single A-B except back in the 4th, we swung at the first pitch. Polkovich has been ahead in the count every single time. Ahead here once again, the 3-1 from Showalter. Fastball just misses the outside corner for ball 4. So Caden Polkovich reaches base for the 4th time tonight. And now the Anglers have their base runner that they want.
Justin Showalter had retired the first 8 batters he faced tonight. Issues that 5-pitch walk to Caden Polkovich. And now it gives Alex Terrell a big-time opportunity. Left-handed power hitter for the Anglers could really put this game out of reach.
Alex Terrell with the power. First pitch misses low and in for ball 1 to Terrell, who's 0 for 3 so far. David Avita is now behind the dish for the Firebirds after Rob Emery was pinch ran for in that last inning. Showalter from the letters kicks and fires the 1-0. Fastball bounces into the mid of Avita. Count 2 balls and no strikes. So Terrell is just batting .207 on the season, hitting .300 here with 2 home runs and 12 RBIs, 12 for 40 at Veterans Field. Loves to play here in front of the home fans. 2-0. Fastball right down the heart of the plate at the knees for strike 1. Count 2-1. So Terrell was ahead of the count. Decides not to swing in the hitter's count as Polkovich extends off first base. 1 down here in the bottom of the 8th. 2-1 from Showalter. Fastball about 59 feet in the dirt, blocked by Vidia. Going down towards second base, throw down towards second, just in. Diving ahead first was Polkovich, who was able to take second base and a ball in the dirt. And now, 3 balls and a strike on Alex Terrell. What is he going to do here from Tom Holliday?
Yeah, you're going to intentionally walk Terrell to set up a double play opportunity. You just have to hope that if you can find a way to get a ground ball, you'll turn 2 on O'Gwin. And remember, Jamal O'Gwin battling an injury. And Kelly Nicholson is not messing around. Connor Pellerin, who threw more than 2 innings and 50 pitches the other night, just 2 days ago, is going to come into this ball game. It's a must-win situation for Orleans, and Kelly Nicholson knows that he's going to go to the pen.
So Nicholson will go to the bullpen here for Nick Garcia with runners on first and second. One down here in the bottom of the 8th inning. We'll step aside while he warms up. Listen to Firebirds Baseball on the Birds Broadcasting Network. Back inside Veterans Field, Firebirds 4, Anglers 4 here as Nick Garcia enters the ball game for the Orleans Firebirds out of Chapman University, 6'4", 215, native of San Carlos, California. Looks to try to thwart this Anglers effort. Runners on first and second with just one down. Garcia making his 15th appearance here on Cape Cod, 3.44 ERA. It is Jamal O'Gwin, the right fielder out of USC, 0 for 3 tonight. Right-hander against the right-hander, Nick Garcia. Oh, he's better than one of the best in the business when it comes to facing right-handed hitters. Opposition's hitting $107 against him. As O'Gwin digs in from the right side. Garcia looks in towards the catcher, Vidia, trying to deuce a ground ball here. Double play depth up the middle. Second baseman Wickham holding the runner on at second. First pitch, wave and a miss for strike one to Jamal O'Gwin.
This is a pure matchup for Kelly Nicholson, just making the move. You mentioned the Garcia split at 107. How about this? Jamal O'Gwin under the Mendoza line against right-handers. Bats well above 400 against southpaws.
Just $198 against right-handed pitchers. Garcia looks back towards second. Kicks and fires the 0-1. Fastball, same spot, same result. At the knees for strike two. It's no balls and 2 strikes. And it's interesting as well, O'Gwin absolutely rakes against left-handers, hitting .464, but has struggled against right-handers here. Runners on first and second, one down here in the bottom of the 8th inning. Chatham 4, Orleans 4. Garcia comes set, looks back towards second. Set at the letters, the 0-2. Curveball chopped in front as it hits off the front left leg of O'Gwin. And he'll do it again, no balls and 2 strikes. O'Gwin with 2 punch outs tonight. Also grounded out back in the first to the shortstop Tanner Murray. Big spot here for the Anglers again. Winner advances for the #1 seed in the East Division. Garcia glances in towards Avita as time is called. And Garcia steps off towards the first base side of the rubber. Gwen Wait holds the black barrel on his right shoulder. Now picks it up now. Garcia, 0-2. Fastball chopped up towards the first base side, towards the Firebirds dugout. And once again, they do it at no balls and 2 strikes. 4 runs, 9 hits, no errors for the Firebirds. 4 runs, 6 hits, and 1 error for the Anglers. Garcia stepped off the mound for a second, steps back on. Working from the stretch with runners on first and second. Polkovich at second, Terrell at first. Garcia's 0-2. Fastball upstairs, cut on miss for strike 3. And Garcia climbs the ladder on O'Gwin and punches him out for the second out here in this 8th inning.
Ties for the hardest pitch that Nick Garcia has thrown this summer. 93-mile-an-hour fastball upstairs. O'Gwin down for the 3rd time via the strikeout. And now Jorge Arenas, who has been a leader and a fixture for this Anglers squad across his 2 seasons on Cape Cod. In a bit of a run, but a chance to deliver for the Chatham A's.
So now it's Jorge Arenas, the third baseman out of Stetson, has already driven a run today for the Anglers. Takes a first pitch breaking ball at the belt for strike 1. Arenas 1 for 3. He doubled and scored a run in the 4th, which tied the game up at 3, 4-4 game once again here in the 8th. 2 down, runners on first and second. Garcia trying to tie the final 2 Anglers in this 8th. Garcia looks back towards second a pair of times, fires towards home the 0-1. Fastball is popped up and down the first base side of the play. Count no balls and 2 strikes. Polkovich walked with 1 down the 8th. Then Terrell was intentionally walked to bring up Jamal O'Gwin, who struck out on the last AB. No balls and 2 strikes on Arenas with 2 down, runners on first and second. Orleans 4, Chatham 4 here in the bottom of the 8th inning at Veterans Field. Garcia, black glove set at the Orleans letters. The 0-2. Fastball outside corner, strike 3. And Nick Garcia strikes out O'Gwin and Arenas as the Anglers leave 2 men stranding here in the 8th inning. No runs on no hits, no errors. 2 men left on base after 8 innings. Orleans 4, Chatham 4. We'll step aside. Listen to Firebirds baseball on the Birds Broadcast Network.
Here's pitch number 8 of the AB. 2-2, flared into straightaway center for a base knock. 2-1. Fastball skied out to left field. Left fielder Galland ranging back. He's at the warning track looking up, and this ball is gone. Talk about a way to break out of a slump. A 2-run blast for Josh Zamora. He ends his 1 for 17 skid, and the Birds are tied with the Mariners. It's 2-2 in the 3rd. 1-2. Breaking ball fisted off the end of the bat by Hurtubise. That's going to drop down for a base hit. 2-1. Fastball hard chop to the left side. Past the dive of the shortstop, Hal Hughes, into left field for a base hit. The Firebirds take the lead on an RBI single by Max Troiani. Here's the 0-1. Fastball crushed deep left field. Galland ranging back. He's looking up. This one drops down. This ball is gone. A 2-run home run by Shea Whitcomb. The 2nd of the inning for the Orleans Firebirds. A 5-run frame makes it a 5-2 game. First pitch. Fastball crushed out to deep right field. Weimer ranging back. Marshak looking up. This ball caroms off the fence. Emery cruising into second base. Now Kelly Nicholson's going to ask the umpires to see if this went over the wall and came back into play.
And it is.
And it is a home run. A solo shot off the bat of Rob Emery. The home runs continue to rain down at Eldridge Park. Their 3rd blast of the inning, and Orleans has a 6-2 lead.
Top of the 9th inning here from Veterans Field. Orleans 4, Anglers 4. First place in the East is on the line here, as it will be 9-1-2 due up in this half inning. Trevin Esquera, the first baseman, digs in from the left side. Switch hitter will work against the right-hander in Capandi. Esquera 1 for 3 in tonight's ball game. First pitch, fastball, just misses the outside corner for ball 1. Now the Firebirds got here, well, 2 runs in the 2nd, 1 in the 4th, and 1 here in the 8th inning. The 4 runs for the Firebirds. The 1-out. Off-speed pitch, cut on a miss for strike 1, count a ball and a strike.
And remember, in this inning for Orleans, they'll have 3 left-handed swingers because Zach Kakasco was used as a pinch hitter earlier in the ballgame for Julio Marcano. So plenty of lefties coming up for Orleans. You'd think probably a good matchup for the Birds.
The 1-1 pitch, off-speed pitch swung right over for strike 2. Count 1 ball and 2 strikes here on Trevin Esquera. Firebirds looking for the leadoff runner on here. Ascara's lone hit came back in the second inning on a single after back-to-back sac flies from McCabe and Murray. Those were the 2 runs in the second. Capandi comes set, delivers the 1-2 pitch that is looped out towards shallow right field. Jamal Gwynn, the right fielder, coming in a few steps. Can't center it and makes the catch for the first out.
Now, Thomas, we also have to remember this is the last inning no matter what happens in this frame. There will be no extras. The Cape League ruled about 10 days ago that there will be no more extra innings in the regular season to preserve some arms, and that might come into play here tonight at Veterans Field.
Could see a tie if this result holds after 9. Jacob Hurtubise is the center fielder. First pitch misses above the letters for ball 1. Hurtubise has reached base 3 times in his first 4 plate appearances. 2 singles and a walk. Single on his last debut in the 7th. 1-0 offering. Fastball misses low and in for ball 2. Count 2 balls and no strikes. And if you're Kellen Nicholson, this is a guy you want on the dish if you're looking for a base runner. Jacob Hurtubise. A 2-0. Fastball brushes Hurtubise off the inside corner. Count 3 balls and no strikes.
And I wouldn't be surprised if Hurtubise takes the next 2 pitches. Even if the count goes 3-1, he'll probably get a red light on the 3-1 count to try and draw ball 4.
379 OBP on the air for Hurtubise. The 3-0. Fastball, ball 4. Misses above the letters. And now Hurtubise has walked for the 2nd time today, reached base for the 4th time today. And with 1 down, they have a guy that can steal a couple bases over at first.
And I wouldn't be surprised if we saw a pitch out on the 1st or 2nd pitch from Chatham, expecting Hurtubise to take off. You would imagine the Birds would try and get Hurtubise in motion, and that way you have 2 chances for a single to bring home the speedster.
Zach Kokoska from the left side with 1 down on the top of the 9th. 4-4 ball game. First pitch in the dirt, covered up by the catcher, Keen Rice, for ball 1. And really, any ball that's in the probably 5 or 10 foot vicinity of Keen Rice, he's got to pounce on it because Hurtubise, if he gets a good read, he's taken off. Kokoska holding the black bat above his left shoulder, the 1-0. Breaking ball, misses high once again. Count 2 balls and no strikes.
And I now think in a 2-0 count, you can run at that point. You wouldn't expect a pitch out here from Chatham to make the count 3 balls and no strikes. This should be a safe point for Hurtubise to try and time up the right-hander on the mound.
Morrow and Jones double play depth up the middle. The 2-0 to Kokoska. Fastball sported at the knees for strike 1. 2 balls and a strike on Zach Kokoska now.
Yeah, he was taking all the way. That was 6 consecutive balls from the right-hander on the bump, and Kokoska was taking until he gets a strike.
Kokoska waves the bat once again towards Capandi on the mound. The 2-1 offering. Breaking ball hit hard towards the right fielder. Gwynn, it bounces in front of him on the turf. Hurtubise cruising the second base, and now the Firebirds have 2 men on with just 1 gone here in the top of the 9th inning with the go-ahead run and Hurtubise at second base.
And now a perfect situation for the Orleans Firebirds. Their best 3 hitters all in a row to come up in this ball game. If they get the chance, they've got the go-ahead run in scoring position with their fastest guy on the base pass. This is literally a perfect situation for the Orleans Firebirds, but the Chatham Anglers going to make a move to the pen.
And Dennis Cook came out to the hill, but he'll make the change here in the top of the 9th inning. Runners on first and second with just 1 out. Firebirds 4, Anglers 4. We'll step aside to listen to Firebirds baseball on the Birds Broadcast Network. Back inside Veterans Field, runners on first and second with just one out. 4-4 ball game. As the Anglers and Tom Holiday will call on their closer, Dawson Merriman, an all-star in the East Division. Pitched just yesterday, inning in 2/3, gave up 4 hits, 2 runs, and 1 earned, a walk and a punch out, but he's done well on the mound this year, 1-0 with a 3.06 ERA, making his 15th appearance here on Cape Cod with 4 saves. Struck out 14 through 14 and 2/3. So all things from the best hitters here on Cape Cod and Max Troiani. Quiet night for the outfielder from Bentley, 0 for 4. But again, had 2 RBIs against Chatham in the game. That was canceled here due to thunder and lightning. Hurtby's off at second base, Kokoska over at first. Max Troiani digs in from the right side, the left fielder tonight. Merriman comes set out of Midland College. Kicks and fires first pitch. Breaking ball. Misses low and out for ball 1.
Merriman threw 32 pitches yesterday for the Anglers in the first game of that doubleheader, but this is the guy you want on the mound, a hard-throwing sidewinder to generate a double play.
As that different arm slots as the 1-0 pitch. Troiani cranks it out towards the right center field gap. It touches down and rolls up against the wall. Hurtby is rounding third, coming into home. Getting the green light is Kokoska rounding around third, no throw. It's a stand-up double for Max Troiani. It drives into, and the Firebirds have a lead here in the top of the 9th inning. Orleans 6, Chatham 4.
It's just Max Troiani's second extra base hit of the summer, and the Birds MVP delivers. Shot one into right center field, and who else? The dream story continues.
Just his second double on the season, but Max Troiani can do it all. So still one out here in the top of the 9th inning. Troiani over at second base. It doesn't get much easier. It's Shea Whitcomb. Troiani extends the lead off of second base. First pitch, breaking ball in the outside corner for strike 1. Whitcomb, who also has had a quiet night up until this point, just like Max Troiani was having until the last pitch or so. Merriman looks back towards Troiani at second, kicks and fires 0-1 breaking ball. Backhanded by Keen Rice in the dirt, count a ball and a strike. Orleans 6, Chatham 4 here in the top of the 9th inning, just 1 down. Troiani takes a couple more steps off second base. Stones just holding him on over there at second. Merriman looks over, kicks and fires the 1-1. Breaking ball outside edge. First strike, 2. It's a ball and 2 strikes on Whitcomb.
Remember, this rally isn't over just yet. There's only 1 down, and Shea Whitcomb and Zach Britton are the 2 batters guaranteed in this frame the rest of the way.
Britton on deck, the right fielder who has reached base all 4 times tonight. 1-2 to Whitcomb. Breaking ball fouled off the mask of Keen Rice, the catcher. As Mickey Garcia, the home plate umpire, will walk out, toss a new ball to Merriman, and pick up the old baseball. And Britton, who's on deck, has singled 3 times, scored 3 times, and hit a solo blast in the 4th. He's on deck as Whitcomb down to the count, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Troiani off a second base here in the top of the 9th. Again, Orleans 6, Chatham 4. Merriman looks in towards the catcher, Rice. Comes set from the belt. The 1-2. Breaking ball, Sky down the first base side. Terrell, the first baseman, giving chase towards the bleachers and the fence, but hops down on the first base bleacher side. Out of play. Count a ball and 2 strikes still. So if this result would hold, Orleans would take the number 1 seed in the East just for tonight, with the game scheduled for tomorrow. Again, Troiani off a second base. He drove in the pair of runs for the Firebirds here in the 9th. The 1-2 once more. Breaking ball, check swing in the dirt. Scooped up by Keen Rice. Count evens up at 2-2. The Firebirds fans that have made their way here down Route 28 here at Veterans Field, happy up until this point. Trying to see some more runs poured across here in the 9th. 2-2. Fastball hit hard down the third baseline, foul. Skips off the fence towards the Chatham bullpen. Count stays 2-2.
Now, for Chatham in the last of the ninth, it's going to be the bottom third of their lineup. 2 right-handers against Nick Garcia. And righties bat just a $1.07 off Garcia.
As there is no warming in the Orleans bullpen, so it looks like Garcia will have the ninth, the 2-2. Breaking ball just misses the outside black. Whitcomb works it a full now at 3 balls and 2 strikes.
Now for Chatham in that third base dugout, you have a couple lefty swingers off the bench. Ben Ramirez, who hasn't played in 3 days, he just grabbed a bat to walk to the end of the dugout. You also have Cooper Davis, outfielder from Vanderbilt.
And he's a guy that loves to get on base. 3-2. Breaking ball hit hard down the third base side. Back in it by Arenas, keeps it in front. Fake throw over towards first. Everybody's safe. So we saw Arenas make that play a pair of times early in the ball game. Just keeps it in front of him. It saves a run probably in the process. Will go down as an infield single for Shea Whitcomb. He collects his first base in this ball game. Runners on first and second with 1 out here in the top of the ninth. Orleans 6, Chatham 4. It's now Zach Brennan, the right fielder. Again, 4 for 4, 3 singles and a home run. As he digs it from the left side, waves the bat back towards the right-hander and Dawson Merriman. First pitch will hold up as Merriman will turn towards second base. Trani just retreats back.
Zach Britton this summer hits .432 with runners on base. Just food for thought.
He's got 2 on base here. First pitch incoming. Fastball in there on the inside corner at the belt for strike 1. Also hitting .464 with runners in scoring position. Merriman, long glance towards second base. Another long glance again, the 0-1. Fastball, wave and a miss at 90 miles an hour on the gun. Count nothing at 2 on Britton. So Merriman trying to strike out Britton here with runners on first and second and just 1 down here in the top of the ninth. Orleans 6-4 advantage over the Anglers. As Britton holds the bat just above his left shoulder. 0-2. Breaking ball fouled back to the screen. And we'll do it again on 0-2. Britton driving in. The 1 run tonight hit his 5th home run of the season, 19 RBIs on the year now. With the 1 coming back in the 4th again. 4th pitch of that inning. And Britton puts it on the hill in right field. Merriman comes set from the belt. Kicks and fires the 0-2. Breaking ball, cut on miss for strike 3. And Britton goes down swinging. Put up a good fight, but Merriman comes out on top for the second out here in the top of the ninth.
And now David Avidia will take his first hacks of the night. Came in as a defensive replacement in the 8th inning. He'll get his first AB, and boy, is this a big spot for Avidia. If he can find a way to hit a single into the outfield, that might tack on another insurance tally.
Avedia's had some of his best games against these Chatham Anglers. First pitch, this is low and in for ball 1. Back on July 3rd, 2 for 4. Then followed up against the same Anglers the next day on the 4th. Went 1 for 4, a double, an RBI, and a walk. Don't let the average fool you. He's had a couple bases against the Anglers so far this year. 1-0. Fastball looped down the first base side out of play over the snack shack towards the local scoop truck. Kind of ball and a strike. Trani off of second base. Whitcomb over at first. Trani drove in the 2 runs in this half inning to give them the 6-4 lead. Merriman comes set. The 1-1. Breaking ball dips in at the knees on the inner half of the plate. Merriman's ahead now, 1-2. So Merriman trying to strike out Britton and Avedi here to end this top of the ninth and get the bats going. 1-2. Breaking ball just missing the outside corner. Count 2-2. Anglers fans getting a little restless here. That open umpire Mickey Garcia. Get a base hit, could score another run here. Runners on first and second, 2 down, 6-4, Orleans lead. The 2-2 to Avidia. Fastballs punch back to the screen. Avidia just able to stay alive. Count stays 2-2.
Thanks, Mom. See you later. We're in the top of the ninth.
6 runs, 12 hits, no errors for the Birds. 4 runs, 6 hits, and 1 error for the Anglers. Merriman trying to strike out Avdia here. The 2-2. Fastball runs inside. As Avdia gets hit in on the hand, it will take first base. So Emery was hit by a pitch in the 8th inning before being pinch run for, and Avdia gets hit by a pitch here in the 9th. So now the bases are loaded for Eddie McCabe, the third baseman from Georgetown here, with 2 down in the inning. 6-4 Orleans lead. Bases are juiced. First pitch, fastball, going on the miss for strike 1 again, 90 miles an hour on the gun.
Thomas, only once this summer has Nick Garcia given up 2 earned runs in an appearance. There's only going to be 1 more inning tonight at Veterans Field. We won't play extras regardless of the score. So you'd have to imagine if Garcia can keep Chatham in check, could see you tomorrow night at Veterans Field.
0-1's tapped to the dish. Count no balls and 2 strikes on Eddie McCabe. Again, base is loaded, 2 down here. Count no balls and 2 strikes as Merriman works for the windup. The 0-2. Fastball hit into right field for a base hit. 1 comes in, coming around third. Throw it towards the plate, towards Rise. And he is out. Wickham gets thrown out at the plate, but 1 will come in to score off the bat of Eddie McCabe. It's now a 3-run cushion for the Firebirds here as they head into the bottom of the 9th inning. Firebirds 3 runs on 4 hits, no errors, and leave 2 men left on base. Again, 8.5 here played at Veterans Field. Orleans 7 and Chatham 4 will step aside. Listen to Firebirds baseball on the Birds Broadcast Network.
Hitting for Chatham, the University of Southern California.
Home half of the 9th inning from Veterans Field. Orleans 7, Chatham 4. As a pincher will come the ball game for Brady Smith, it is Ben Ramirez. Will enter the DH spot here out of USC, hitting .273 this year for the Anglers. He'll dig it from left side against the right-hander Nick Garcia. Garcia comes set from the stretch, winds and fires. First pitch fastball in there at the knees for strike 1. Ramirez again hitting .273 this year. 2 long balls and 12 RBIs. Had some speed on the well. You can put on the base paths. 0-1. Breaking ball misses down in the zone and got a ball on a strike. Ramirez against the right-handers so far this year hitting .311. So has found more success against right-handers as Garcia gets to Sonny Watts at the letters, the 1-1. Breaking ball in there on the inside corner for strike 2. Count a ball and 2 strikes.
It's going to be pinch hitter galore here in the 9th inning as well. Aaron Polensky from Nebraska waiting on deck for his first Cape League AB.
Was just activated today as the 1-2 pitch is punched up and out of play over the third base dugout. Count stays 1-2.
Now you still have Tyler Dones with his bat waiting on the top step. He's in the hole. So it looks like it's going to be Polensky, which really changes the split backwards, but it's Keaton Rice who's looked a little foolish tonight, 0 for 3 with 2 K.
A 1-2. Breaking ball in the dirt. Count now 2 balls and 2 strikes. So trying to work away on base here. As Ramirez digs back in for the left side. Again, another USC Trojan here at the dish. Garcia set, the 2-2. Fastball is flown out of play once again, just behind us here over the press box. Count stays 2-2. 3 runs put up here in the top of the 9th inning, and thanks to a Max Chirani 2 RBI double and then an Eddie McCabe RBI single. Wickham was gunned down at home plate, trying to score to end the inning. 2-2 the count here on Ramirez. Garcia out of Chapman University. Sent at the letters. The 2-2. Breaking ball, lifted, hard line drive towards right field. It skips in front of Britton for a base hit. And the Anglers have the leadoff man aboard here in the 9th. So Aaron Polensky, as you mentioned, the right outfielder, right-handed hitting out of University of Nebraska, will dig in for his first Cape League AB. As Andrew Haig, another newly activated player out of UConn, now pinch running over at first base. So Polensky from the right side of the University of Nebraska. Righty-righty matchup, first pitch, hard hit down the third base side, but foul. Count 0-1.
And at Nebraska, Polensky was one of the best hitters for the Cornhuskers. Batted above 300. And for Tom Holliday to find Polensky, bring him to Cape Cod in late July, that's quite the find.
It's going deep in the bag of marbles. Second team all Big Ten as well this past season. 0-1 breaking ball in the dirt, covered up by a video, count a ball and a strike.
Now, if you're Nick Garcia, you just can't allow a second runner to get on base in this inning at any point. You can't allow one swing of the bat to potentially tie this ball game up.
We've seen it done before here at Veterans Field where they just drive in runs in the 9th, the 1-1. Fastball runs off the plate, count 2-1, and you don't want to bring that up in the tying run, especially with some of these hitters in this Chatham lineup who have flashed the power throughout this season. Polensky at 320 this past season, 7 long balls and 35 RBIs, 482 slugging percentage. He's ahead of the count, 2 balls and a strike. The 2-1. Fastball's fouled back to the screen, count 2-2. Esquera letting Haig over at first take his lead. The 2-2 from Garcia. Breaking ball lifted high there out towards shallow right field. Coming in is Britton, the right fielder, ranging over, dives, and he holds on. Britton flashes the leather, shows it up to the first base umpire, Joe Labella. It says, look what I found, I caught the baseball. So Zach Britton makes a web jib of a play out there and a blooper for the first down. Again, the outfielders here trying to play no doubles defense. Don't let anything get past them. Playing a little bit more back in the outfield as Tyler Dones, the second baseman. .5'10", 190. Infielder from West Virginia from the right side. First pitch swinging, ropes and out towards right center field. Hurtaby's on the run. It's going to drop down for a base hit. Haig, will stop at second base. Runners on first and second, and now it's a tying run at the dish in Huey Morrill.
And if you're Nick Garcia, you have to find a way to keep it at Morrill and Hall. You can't go beyond Colin Hall because if you do, you find Caden Polkovich, who's been on base all 4 times tonight, including a home run, and has been a Firebirds killer all summer long.
And especially a left-hander and Colin Hall on deck, but you mentioned Caden Polkovich. He has been the Firebird killer this year. So Morrill will step in from the right side, 2 for 4, a single and a double tonight. Grounded out his last time out in the 7th. First pitch. Fastball runs low and outside for ball 1. Again, Orleans 7, Chatham 4 here in the bottom of the 9th inning. 1 down, runners on first and second. Winner would take first place in the East Division. Both of them tied right now at 48 points. Garcia comes set, looks back towards Haig at second, turns and fires towards home. 1-0 breaking ball, misses low and out, 2-0.
Now, Orleans does have a right-hander warming up in the bullpen. You'd imagine if Garcia can't find a way to get out Morrill, they would make the move to the pen. It appears to be Zebulon Vermillion, the big right-hander from Arkansas.
2 balls and no strikes to count on Morrill. Garcia kicks and fires, 2-0. Fastball is lifted out of play behind home plate. Count 2 balls and 1 strike.
Now, of course, the craziest part of this all, a home run ties it up. A ground ball double play ends this ball game.
You mentioned double play. All the infield playing back here. Whitcomb playing up the middle and double play depth. Same as well for Tanner Murray. Corners back as well. The 2-1. Fastball slow chopper in the middle towards the shortstop Murray. He bobbles and hits off his left foot and into right field for a hit. So a ball looked like he might have been able to get 2 there. Results in an error going against Tanner Murray.
Tanner Murray has been so sure-handed all summer long and just took the turn before he had the ball in his glove. Got ready to flip it to second base, didn't have it secured in the mitt, and dropped the baseball. For Murray, it's his 6th error of the summer, but most of those have come at third base.
A lot of them came in the start of his Cape League summer here, so he has been for sure one of the best defenders on this team as Matt Troop comes down to talk with Nick Garcia for his second. And the Chatham faithful come back to life once again here in the bottom of the 9th. Orleans 7, Chatham 4 here. Bases loaded, just 1 out. The double play ball can still be served up here, but it's Colin Hall, the outfielder from Georgia Tech. Drove in a run in the 5th. His only base in this ball game, 1 for 4. 5 for 11, 190 left-hander digs in. Against the southpaw, Nick Garcia. First pitch to Hall. Fastball, wave and a miss for a strike, 1 fastball. 91 miles an hour on the radar gun out in left field. Blows it right past him.
That hit for Hall earlier tonight snapped an 0 for 19 skid. He's just 1 for his last 21. Can he come through again?
That would be a whole nother storyline in the writings here in the 9th inning at Veterans Field as Garcia backs off the rubber. And we will now connect the back right foot up once again. Colin Hall waves the black bat above the left shoulder. Garcia sets the 0-1. Fastball runs up and out of the zone, kind of ball and a strike. Andrew Haig off of third base with some speed. Tyler Jones as well over at second base. And then the tying run at first and Huey Moore. The go-ahead run at the dish right now on Colin Hall. Only had 2 home runs back at Georgia Tech. None so far here in 86 ABs on the Cape. Now has 6 RBIs on the season, including the 1 today. The 1-1 from Garcia. Fastball inside black for strike 2. And Garcia's ahead 1-2. Wind blowing out just a little bit towards right center field here with 1 out in the bottom of the 9th inning. Again, bases loaded. Count 1 ball and 2 strikes on Colin Hall. Orleans holding on to a 3-run cushion lead here. Trying to preserve it in the 9th. The 1-2. Fastball, wave and a miss, first strike 3. Colin Hall just extends the barrel, can't connect, and he goes down on strikes.
I know it sounds twisted, and I know it almost sounds backwards. That's not the worst case scenario for Chatham. It's not a game-ending double play. It brings up Caden Polkovich, who's been the Anglers' best hitter all night long, and has been a Firebirds killer all summer, and has a chance to tie this ball game up, if potentially not walk it off.
Again, Polkovich now 6 for 12 with 3 home runs. And now 8 RBIs against the Firebirds this year. He was intentionally walked in the 5th, walked his last to be in the 8th inning. Bases loaded, 2 down. 7-4 Orleans lead. First pitch to Polkovich. A breaking ball that misses low and outside for ball 1. In every single AB now, besides the first pitch swinging in the 4th, Polkovich has gone ahead. It has been resulted in positive ABs for Polkovich. Let's see what Garcia can do here. The 1-0. Fastball skipped in the mitt of Avidia. Count 2-0. Can Haig off a third. Jones off a second, and Morrow off a first. Garcia taking his time out on the hill, trying to make a good pitch here. Alex Terrell waits on deck for the Anglers. Garcia trying to work through. Polkovich here to end this ball game. Let's do out. Breaking ball just misses the outside edge. Count 3-0. Danger time here for the Firebirds. Bases loaded, 2 down. Nowhere to put Caden Polkovich, but you don't want to groove a pitch in him into the zone for him either. Garcia shakes off the catcher, Vidia. Goes to the signs once again. Garcia set above the letters. Kingston fires a 3-0. Fastball losing the barrel there is Polkovich. Foul tipped in the mitt of Avidia. As Polkovich will have to go down the first base side. First person to pick up the barrel, none other than Kelly Nicholson, the manager for the Orleans Firebirds.
Wonder if Kelly had something to say to Polkovich when handing it back to him. Gotta think he muttered a few words.
So count 3 balls and a strike here on Polkovich. Bases loaded, 2 down. Orleans 7, Chatham 4 here. Garcia trying to work backwards in the count and catch up. After falling behind 3-0, count 3 balls and a strike. Garcia set, nods, fires towards him. 3-1 fastball, cut on a miss for strike 2. So after falling behind 3-0, Garcia trying to climb the mountain here and strike out Polkovich. Bases loaded, 2 down here in the bottom of the 9th inning. Orleans 7, Chatham 4, tying run over at first base. Go ahead at the dish and Caden Polkovich. Garcia set above the letters. The payoff pitch. Fastball loop down the left field line. Heading towards the line. It's a foul ball. It's a game of inches, and it goes the Firebirds' way here as Polkovich will have to do it again at the dish.
If that ball landed in fair territory, that's probably the ball game. Colin Hall was off with the pitch. Merry-go-round in motion. 3-2 with 2 outs in the 9th. He got a great jump from first base, and he was already halfway between 2nd and 3rd before that ball landed.
Wow. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Here we're 2 down in the bottom of the 9th inning. You mentioned runners going on the pitch. Garcia steps back on the hill. Again, bases loaded. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 down, 7-4 Orleans lead. Garcia comes set above the letters. The payoff pitch once more. Breaking ball just nubbed up the third base side. And the runners once again running on the pitch. Dones coming around third will have to V-line back towards second base. Again, Haig, a pinch runner at third base, just activated today out of UConn. Dones with some speed as well at second, and Colin Hall at first base out of Georgia Tech. A base knock could score at least 2, maybe 3. Once again, 3 balls and 2 strikes, 2 outs. The base is loaded. The payoff pitch. Fastball is hit out high towards right center field. Going back to the track. It's off the wall in right center. Brennan picks it up, throws it back in towards the cutoff. 3 runs coming to score. It's a stand-up double for Caden Polkovich. And he does it once again. Polkovich now driving in 5 runs in this ball game, and we are tied at 7 in the bottom of the 9th inning.
If there was ever a doubt, Caden Polkovich delivers again for the Chatham Anglers. He battled back, stayed alive, and Garcia grooved one in over the heart of the plate, caromed off the fence on a fly, and just a matter of inches, that ball maybe another couple feet higher, and this ball game is over.
With that trajectory, it looked like it had a chance to get out, but just stays in the yard here. Not enough wind able to catch that ball and take it over the fence. So the Firebirds are not done yet. If they can retire the next hitter in Alex Terrell, then it would be a tie, and each team would still pick up a point. So Garcia stepped off the mound for a second, as now Terrell's going to have a chat with Tom Holliday, who comes out of the third base dugout. 7 runs, 13 hits, 1 error for Orleans. 7 runs, 9 hits, and 1 error for the Anglers. Orleans put up a 3 spot at the top half of this inning, and Polkovich came up with a bases clearing 3 RBI double. So Terrell, who's 0 for 3 tonight, will now be pinch hit for.
The right fielder from the University of Southern California, number 2, Jamal O'Gwen.
It will be Jamal O'Gwen.
And now Cooper Davis is going to pinch run at first base. And that run, again, doesn't mean much in the grand scheme of things, considering the winning run is on second base. But with Davis's speed, could potentially avoid a force out at second. Thomas, how about this? The first 2 times these 2 teams met up this summer, it was an 8-7 final, all in favor of Chatham. If Chatham wins, it'd be 8-7 once again.
And on a walk-off again as well, if they can find a way here. So after intentionally walking Terrell, first pitch to Jamal O'Gwen. Ranking ball in the outside corner for strike 1. Again, Garcia came in to face O'Gwen in the 8th inning, struck him out. 3 strikeouts tonight for Jamal O'Gwen, 0 for 4. Runners on first and second, 2 down. Chatham 7, Orleans 7. As David Vita goes out to the hill to talk to Nick Garcia for a quick chat. Again, Garcia's been very effective against right-handed hitters this year, coming in this ball game, just hitting $107 against Garcia. Runners on first and second, 2 down. No balls, 1 strike to count. Garcia set. Kicks and delivers. The 0-1. Breaking ball popped up into shallow right field. Long run for the right fielder, Zach Britton. Coming in towards the line, dives out, and he drops it. And the Anglers have walked it off here at Veterans Field. And they win this ball game 8-7 and have taken first place in the East Division on a walk-off blooper.
Thomas, baseball, a game of inches. That play by Tanner Murray up the middle, a chance for the Birds to end this inning, but instead, this one, another play of inches. This one blooped down the right side, just past the outstretched arm of Zach Britton, and it dunks down a game-winning RBI single for Jamal O'Gwen, and for the 3rd time this summer, the Anglers beat the Firebirds 8-7.
The baseball gods help the Chatham Anglers on this one. 2nd visit to Veterans Field, 2nd time the Firebirds have been walked off on a blooper from Jamal O'Gwen, a guy that was 0 for 4 with 3 strikeouts in his 5th appearance, and walks it off for the Anglers. Final score in Chatham, Anglers 8, Firebirds 7. Birds 7 runs, 13 hits, and 1 error. And the Anglers 8 runs on 10 hits and 1 error. As Trani, 2-run double at the top of this inning, and then an RBI single from McCabe. Not enough, as the Anglers put up 4 in the bottom of the 9th inning.
And that's just the way the game of baseball goes sometimes, Thomas. You think back to the 9th, things that could have been prevented to stop that walk-off. Obviously, you look back at the error by Tanner Murray. If Murray doesn't make that botched play, that's 3 outs already in the frame. You go to the walk, and just you got to give credit to the Chatham Anglers. They looked out of it for a very long time, but tip of the cap to the Orleans Firebirds. They rattled off 5 wins in their final 6 games to finish this summer, get this far. And for a Birds team who a lot of people counted out heading into the season, they'll be the number 2 seed in the playoffs. They'll have home field advantage through the first round. And I know there's going to be a lot of hung heads on that first base side, but still, a great regular season for the Orleans Firebirds, and far from over as they'll get a chance to host the Yarmouth Dennis Red Sox in the postseason.
Yeah, far from over. Playoff baseball to be played. As it looks like the Firebirds will match up with the YD Red Sox. Let's take a look at a couple of stats for tonight. Jacob Hurtubise is 2 for 3 with 2 walks as well, trying to collect a 2 RBI base knock in the ninth. But Jack Britton, half a day, can 4 for 5 with a home run and an RBI. Just not enough in the long run here at Veterans Field in Chatham, Massachusetts. Again, Chatham walks things up with 4 runs in the bottom of the ninth inning. They defeat the Orleans Firebirds 8-7. So that'll do for us here at Veterans Field. From our sideline reporter, Scotty Gange, our producer, Bryce Johnson, my broadcast partner, Josh White, I'm Thomas Cinderella, saying so long from Veterans Field.